The ball off the plinth. Doug King gives his side a big clap. He's wanting a big 3 points here today. It's huge for Coventry. They're just a point above the relegation places, but a big one for Sheffield United. It would be a huge scalp for Coventry if they got this one. They're looking to go top of the table. Sit back and enjoy this one here on Talksport 2 in the company of former Liverpool women's striker Tash Dowie and your match commentator Ian Danter.
Thank you, Faye, and a very good afternoon to you, wherever and however you're listening to Talksport 2. Your home of the EFL, coming to you live from the Coventry Building Society Arena, where we still await the white smoke from the boardroom to indicate that Frank Lampard has indeed been confirmed to replace Mark Robins, who ironically was back in the city on Thursday to receive an honorary doctorate from Cov University just a couple of weeks after he was dismissed here as boss. If it is to be Lampard, the sky blue side he will inherit are 18th, just 1 point above the drop zone in the Championship, but given that just 4 points separate 12 teams from 11th down to 22nd, a win here today under interim boss Rhys Carr could see Coventry catapult themselves into the top half. Sheffield United have off-field uncertainties of their own, with a £100 million takeover by American businessmen tantalisingly close to completion. But on the field, Chris Wilder's side are flying. Level on points at the top of the table with leader Sunderland, and showing the sort of defensive solidity that was so sadly lacking in the side that was relegated last season from the Premier League, conceding 104 goals that season. This time, only Burnley have let in fewer than the 7 that Sheffield United have so far this, and they've already doubled the points total they achieved in the whole of their top flight season last time out, and that's with a 2-point deduction that they got at the start of the campaign. Team news: Coventry make 3 changes from the 2-2 draw they got at Sunderland before the international break. There is no Haji Wright, he rolled his ankle and is out. Norman Bissett comes in for only his 3rd start for Coventry City in attack. Ben Sheep and Josh Eccles also return. Brad Collins in goal, Joel Latibeaudiere, Bobby Thomas, Louis Binks in the back 3. Milan van Ewijk, Jay Da Silva on wing-back duties. Josh Eccles, Victor Torp, Ben Sheep and Jack Rodoni in midfield, with Norman Bissett in attack. For Sheffield United, just 1 change. Unfortunately, Ollie Arblaster out for the season with an ACL injury picked up in the Steel City derby, which United won by 1-0. His place goes to, fresh from the England under-21 debut a week or so ago, Sidney Peck, who I saw being excellent at Bristol City a couple of weeks ago when United won that day. That's the only change. Michael Cooper in goal, Alfie Gilchrist, Harry Souttar, Arnel Ahmed-Hodzic and Harrison Burrows in the back 4. Vinny D'Souza, Sidney Peck in holding midfield, and then Jesbren Rakzaki along with 2 former Coventry players back here for the first time today, Callum O'Hare and Gus Harmer in behind Tyrese Campbell in attack. Our referee this afternoon is Darren Bond. Darren Cann, high-profile Premier League official, and Natalie Aspinall are our assistants. Ben Toner, the 4th official. No VAR, it's a VAR-free zone, and we're underway on Talksport 2 at the Coventry Building Society Arena, and Coventry in their sky blue shirts and socks, white shorts, are attacking the north stand to our left in this first half. Myself and Tash are sat about 10-15 rows back in the west stand, but closer to the goal to our left at the north stand end than to the right. And it's to our right that Sheffield United in their red and white striped shirts, black shorts and socks will be attacking. And Alfie Gilchrist, on loan from Chelsea, gets an early touch. Vinny D'Souza, who's been a terrific acquisition, really controls games in the Championship. Will he be allowed to do so today against this side who have lost more than they've won at home so far this campaign? 3 wins but 4 defeats for Coventry City. It's very good afternoon to former England women's striker Tash Dowie. Conditions will be something of a leveller here because it's pretty blustery around here today. Yeah, absolutely is. But straight away I noticed the crowd, the noise in the crowd. I think the crowd sense that they have to be the 12th man today. You know, a lot has gone on. You know, obviously the manager going, they're not happy with that. Injuries now, Wright not being involved. They know that this is going to be a really tough game today, and you can just sense right from the off that they're getting behind the team. The crowd is electric here, so I'm expecting a good game today. Well, it's unprecedented times for Coventry City as Bissett tries to close down Michael Cooper, who clears early, and certainly the wind is not making the ball fly or run that truly. But 20,000 season ticket holders for the first time ever at Coventry City, and Bissett has it at the edge of the area, rolls it back to Sheaf at the edge of the D, just had the ball taken off his toe by his former teammate O'Hare, and then Cooper The keeper for Sheffield United thumps it clear first time. Flicked up on halfway by Eccles. Jay Da Silva, the diminutive fullback, tries to win the ball on this near touchline. Does, ahead of O'Hare. And then Sheaf just knocks it back to Latibeaudiere. 0-0. And we played 2 minutes on Talksport 2. They're also underway over on Talksport. Just up the M69 at the King Power. Leicester-Chelsea is 0-0. There's also games underway at Bristol City and Sheffield Wednesday in the Championship. Bolton, Shrewsbury and Stevenage in League 1. Grimsby and Notts County in League 2. I'll bring you goals as they go in from all of those early kickoffs here on Talksport 2. That is Bassett showing great strength to get away down the left-hand side from Suter. Powers into the area, goes down under challenge, and a corner's been given by the referee Darren Bond as Suter, using his giant strides, being 6'7", got back on terms with Bassett and just prevented him from getting a shot on goal. 0-0.
This is exactly the start Coventry would have liked. Possession's been in their end, they've created a few half chances, now they've got an early set piece, and Bassett as well coming in, a lot of pressure on him today. That's exactly the kind of start the number 9 there, the big centre forward, would want to be having. So
a corner on this near side, the northwest corner, just down to our left-hand side. It's going to be taken by Josh Eccles. Packed 6-yard box, so many players inside there, barely anybody outside of it. Whipped into the near post and turned behind for another corner in quick succession. The touch at that near post came from Harrison Burrows. 0-0, 3 minutes gone, and it's going to be Torp, I beg your pardon, that's taken these corner kicks from this near side. Crowd really getting behind Coventry in these early stages. Second corner in quick succession for the Sky Blues. Whips in again by Torp to the near post. Burrows volleys it up into the air, lands just inside the box. Da Silva touches it down. Eccles is after it, but it's protected over the dead ball line very well by Sidney Peck. And Sheffield United end up with a goal kick, 0-0.
Yeah, they look up for it today, they really do, and I think that's what you have to have. You know, first 5-10 minutes is so key in a game like today. You know, and straight away they're on their front foot. You can see they're looking to press Sheffield United high, and they're getting the fans going, which is so key.
Norman Bassett hasn't scored yet for Coventry City since coming in from Mechelen. Had a loan spell there last year in Belgium. He's the man entrusted with it today. Ellis Sims is amongst the Coventry substitutes today, as well as Ephraim Mason-Clark and Brandon Thomas Asante in attacking areas should they be required. So we've played 4.5 minutes on Talksport 2. Bassett again giving chase for a ball over the top of the ball, skips off the greasy surface and bounces through to Cooper. 0-0.
Yeah, it's a shame. The weather conditions there killed him. It's a great run, and you know, if it wasn't so skiddy, it's through on goal there, 1v1, but the rain and the surface just took the ball away from Bassett there.
Well, Raksaki couldn't get the better of Jay Da Silva, and Sheffield United have not really had much of a kick in these opening 5 minutes.
No, they haven't. You know, when I'm looking at that front four, Campbell, Harmer, O'Hare, Raksaki, goals and assists, they really are flying at the moment. And I thought, you know, front four, that's a handful today. But within the first 5 minutes, they really haven't even had a sniff. It's been all Coventry.
But then Coventry almost give the ball away at their own defensive third. But it's won back by Torp, and he releases Van Avewyk down the right-hand side. Early cross looking for Bassett, but it was well defended at his near post by Anil Ahmedhodzic. Ball stays in play on the far side of the field, and Coventry have it again with Ben Sheaf. Sheaf looks to play a ball backwards to square, baby. No, flicks it neatly through to Jack Rodoni. Rodoni out to the right, and Van Avewyk touches it in field for Torp. 3 waiting for a cross in Coventry Sky Blue. Comes in from the right-hand side. It might snake its way through to Da Silva. It's volleyed away by Gilchrist, but it drops on halfway. Nobody in a red and white striped shirt, so Coventry have it again, 0-0.
Oh, it's brilliant. Honestly, this is great football by Coventry, and you can hear the fans are applauding it already. You know, if they have an attack, they're first to the balls, they're getting the seconds, they're getting the drop downs. It's attack after attack.
Torp again on the turn, works it out right to Van Avewyk. Good ball in field to Rodoni, just can't get the ball out from under his feet at the edge of the area, and a hurried clearance from Sheffield United. We can hear from the roar around us here at the Coventry Building Society Arena. That's gone straight back into Coventry's possession.
Yeah, they know how important this first goal is today. Both teams have been scoring goals. Coventry actually have scored more goals than Sheffield United this season, but they know how hard it is to score against this Sheffield United team.
Oh, lovely run from Eccles. Plays the ball through to Bassett. Just touches it left for Da Silva. Corner of the penalty area. Steps inside Gilchrist. Still going Jay Da Silva. Can he tee it up? Tees it up for Sheaf. Hits it straight at Cooper. Really powerful strike from Ben Sheaf, but Michael Cooper didn't have to move and clutched it gratefully to his chest. Great start from managerless Coventry City, but it's still 0-0 on Talksport 2.
Yeah, everyone's getting involved as well. The fullback, De Silva's been heavily involved. We know he's the more attacking of the two fullbacks. It's a shame because he's cut inside on his right foot, and his touch is just a little too heavy. It would have been lovely. He could have shaped it.
Great skill again from Eccles in the centre circle. Works it out left for Jay De Silva. Level with the edge of the area, swirling cross deep to the far post, beyond most players, and it's dealt with by Harrison Burrows, who almost kicked it out of play inadvertently for a corner, but his clearance only finds Lati Bogier. Half volley forward finds Rodoni, inside right channel, barged down by Ahmed Hodzic. Free kick, Coventry City, 0-0, Tash Dowie.
I tell you what, you almost feel as if there's about 24 players playing for Coventry right now. You almost feel as if it's the last minute of the game, and Sheffield United are just clearing their lines, but we're like 7 minutes into the game right now, and I honestly don't even think Sheffield United have had 30 seconds, if 10 seconds of possession. It has literally been all Coventry. They've got a really dangerous position now. Their right hand side looks like it's maybe going to be whipped infield, with a left-footed kind of delivery here, and they've got the big players in the box, and can they get an early goal? They deserve it. It's been all them so far.
Sheffield United holding their line at the edge of the area. The free kick is midway point of their half, but it's out on the far right hand side, only 3 or 4 yards in from the far touchline in front of the east stand. Sheaf and Eccles and Torp standing over it. Torp's going to whip it in right footed. Great pace on the delivery, comes out to Eccles, and his shot is deflected over the bar by Vinny D'Souza. Vital block, another corner. Third of these opening stages to Coventry, 0-0.
Yeah, I tell you what, the goal's coming. It really is, and if it's not, it has to, because this kind of pressure, Coventry have to make the most of this pressure, and it really has been all of them. They need to make it count now.
Do you know what the stats say? 63% Cov, 37 for Sheffield United.
Feels more than that, to be honest.
I don't believe a word of it, but that's what the statisticians say. Coventry have another corner at 0-0 on Talksport 2. Victor Torp with a right-footed in-swinger from the northwest corner down to our left, deep to the far post, but it's gone beyond everybody. Gus Harmer could just let it run across his body, knowing it was going to go out of play for a throw, and Sheffield United will now try and get some meaningful possession inside their own half.
And I'm not even surprised they're walking towards the ball. They're really trying to almost not kill time, but probably realise after 9 minutes they've been really under the cosh, so they're looking to take their time here and almost kill the early momentum that Coventry have created.
Yeah, it's a great atmosphere here. I mentioned 20,000 season ticket holders plus for the first time ever in Coventry's history, and they're making a right old racket in here. But Sheffield United have got a good few thousand who've travelled down the M1 today in the south stand end away to our right, but they've had little to chew on so far. But Callum O'Hare, who gets the booze, the pantomime villain, left on a free in the summer, and certainly Gus Harmer, if he gets in possession, won't get anything like the sort of treatment that O'Hare's getting. He left on far better terms with the Coventry fans than O'Hare did. Here's Ahmed Hodzic out to the left-hand side for the talented Harrison Burrows, the assist king. So many assists for Peterborough United, and scores goals as well. I saw him get the winner at Bristol City for Sheffield United just for a couple of weeks ago at Ashton Gate. Suter, the Australian, turns inside Bassett and feeds it back to Michael Cooper. It's a very different Sheffield United side. 7 of the outfield players in the Steel City derby were brought in the summer by Chris Wilder. A lot of free transfers, not much money paid, Tash.
Yeah, no, great transfer window for Sheffield United, and 2 key players, like you said, rightly so, O'Hare and Harmer, have been influential in how they've started the season. And I know what it feels like to play against an old team. I used to love it, to be honest, when I moved from Everton to Liverpool. I remember scoring a hat-trick, and you get up for the game more, and I'm telling you now, those boos will only motivate him even more to put the ball in the back of the net.
Coventry coming forward again at 0-0. 10 minutes gone on Talksport 2. Bassett making a lovely run, willing run, down the right-hand side of the penalty area. Ahmed Hodzic goes out with him. He feeds it back to Van Eyvite. Tucks it infield to Rodoni. It's out on the far right-hand side for Coventry City, midway point of the half. He rolls it back as a square, Rodoni to Sheaf, the captain. Now Rodoni has it again. Very neat and tidy player, and tall, imposing player, Jack Rodoni. Former Huddersfield man. Very good addition that Mark Robbins made in the summer window. But Robbins no longer here. Attempted pass from Vinny D'Souza to get Raksaki away. Again, it just comes to nothing. It skids out of play before the Palace loanee can get it under control. And it's another throw for Coventry City, and they have the ball back yet again.
Yeah, they really look off it, to be honest, at the moment. I know we're only 11 minutes in, so there's a long time to play, but just don't look a bit lethargic, if I'm being honest. Even there, Raksaki, you know, he's kind of not even anticipating the ball's coming to him, looks very flat-footed. Yeah, they just don't look up for this game, which really surprises me with what's at stake. You know, they're flying at the moment, could go top, you know, in a great run of form, the situation Coventry are in, but yeah, credit to Coventry.
That's the voice of the former WSL title winner, Tash Dowie. As forward comes Bissett down the left-hand side. Oh, looks like he's shoved to the ground by Ahmed Hodzic, but the referee has pointed for a foul the other way. Darren Bond said that was a foul by Bissett on Ahmed Hodzic, rather than the other way round, as they both sped down the left-hand side of the Sheffield United box, 0-0.
I thought I saw a little bit of a shove there, if I'm being honest, on Bissett. Yes, you could say it was it enough to make him go down, but I thought that could have been a penalty there. And I tell you what, credit to the centre forward that's come in today. He's looked a real handful. Looks like he's got some real pace about him, strong, a real presence. I think he's a bit unlucky there not to get a penalty.
He's 20 years of age, Norman Bissett. Cost just over 2 million from Caen in the French leagues. Belgian under-19 international, but yet to score for Coventry. Here's Harmer, former Coventry, works it out to Raksaki. Sheffield United coming forward for the first time, and they score, and it's Tyrese Campbell on the money, right in front of goal. How about that? A goal totally against the run of play. Coventry dominating the opening exchanges, but suddenly Raksaki got away down the right-hand side from Harmer's pass. The cross was pinpoint along the deck, and Campbell just had to stroke it home from right in front. 13 minutes gone, and Sheffield United bidding for top spot hit the front. Coventry 0, Sheffield United 1.
Well, I tell you what, isn't that football? You know, the first attack they've had, and they're 1-0 up. And that just shows just how good this Sheffield United team are, and why they've scored so many goals, and why they're sitting where they are in the table. First of all, it's the first kind of moment in the game that Harmer's had that space in midfield, getting on the half turn in the pocket, and what a ball. Penetrated, played Raksaki in down the right hand side, and then you just have to whip the ball in, and Campbell's one of those number 9s that he's a poacher in the box, and it's an easy tap in for him. But what a blow for Coventry, because it has been all them, but now we have to see a reaction.
That's 4 goals in 5 games for Tyrese Campbell. A free transfer brought in by Chris Wilder after his spell at Stoke City. And his dear old late dad would have been proud of that positioning, knowing where to be for when the cross came in. And so the Blades have hit the front after that extraordinary start where Coventry had the visitors pinned back, forced all those corners, but nothing to show for it.
But that's been the problem, Ian, hasn't it? If you look at it, Coventry, I said earlier, have scored more goals than Sheffield United, but if you look at conceded, 21, now 22 goals conceded. It's too much.
Yeah. Here's Ben Sheaf in possession for Coventry, works it up to the halfway line, and Eccles trying to slide in Bissett again down the inside right channel, but it was intercepted on this occasion by the Sheffield United backline. Harmer almost treads on the ball as he tried to collect it down the far left-hand side for Sheffield United. So Coventry have it back, and now it's the Sheffield United fans you can hear in full voice away to our right. As well you might expect, they are sitting top of the tree as things stand, with Sunderland not playing till later. Here is Joel Latibogier, played in midfield at Sunderland last time out in the Championship a couple of weeks ago, back in his more natural habitat of centre-half. Van Eyvijk, right-hand side for the hosts, plays it infield to Torp. Now Eccles has it just in front of the centre circle, under pressure from O'Hare, and Sidney Peck has to lay it back to halfway. Latibogier steps away from O'Hare. Van Eyvijk did really well to keep the ball in play on that far side, but in doing so he's given the ball back to the visitors, and it's back with Cooper, bedecked in all bright orange this afternoon, the Blades keeper. Peck just shy of this centre circle inside his own half, rolls it over halfway for Harmer. Harmer releases Raksaki down the inside right channel into the area, gets it back to Harmer. Shot is blocked by Bobby Thomas on its way to goal and deflects out to the right wing, where Gilchrist will try and keep it alive. De Silva slides in and concedes a first corner of the game for Sheffield United, who lead 1-0.
Yeah, Harmer's getting too much space now in that midfield for Sheffield United. Coventry need to do better there. He's finding that space and he's starting to hurt them. You know, this is a really good spell now by Sheffield United, and for Coventry, they need to, the next 5-10 minutes, they need to stay in the game.
Well, they're taking their time over getting prepared to take this corner kick will be Harrison Burrows, who's gone across, taking the applause of the Sheffield United fans in that southwest corner, who's going to take it over on our far right. So it'll be a left-footed in-swinger from Burrows. Plenty of players clustered around the far post at the edge of the 6-yard area. Darren Bond's got a lot to keep his eye on here, it would seem, as Burrows delivers the corner. Underneath the crossbar, Suter, the giant at the back, got his head to it first, but it was well wide, a good 3 or 4 yards wide in the end. Coventry goal kick, 17 gone on Talksport 2. It's 1-0 to the Blades. Tash Dowie.
Big chance that, Ian, though, isn't it? I know you say it's a bad miss, in my opinion. He's lost his runner. You know, the height of him, he should be hitting the target there and making the keeper make a save, and that could have been 2-0 to Sheffield United. And like I said, these next 5-10 minutes for Coventry are key, that they do not concede another goal.
Well, Sheffield United before today had been in front in 51% of matches in the Championship this season. That's the most in the division, and they've trailed for just 65 minutes in all, which is the lowest total in the division. They really have been excellent in terms of maintaining advantages and getting those advantages like they have today, when it did not look likely with 10 minutes on the watch. Chelsea are 1-0 up over on Talksport at the King Power. Leicester 0, Chelsea 1. Nicholas Jackson on 16 minutes with the goal for Chelsea. No goals in the Championship to tell you about, nor in League 1 or League 2. This is the only goal we have for you so far on the EFL. We picked it well. Coventry 0, Sheffield United 1 on Talksport 2. Your home of the EFL. Tyrese Campbell with that 13th minute strike after Sheffield United have been under the pump.
And you can see as well, Sheffield United are quite happy just to sit in that mid-block, you know, let Coventry have possession and then look to try and hit them on the counter, which is exactly what they did for the goal. Yeah, they're waiting until Coventry get the ball to around about the centre circle, then they will engage, then they will press. Another free kick given against Norman Bissett against Ahmed Hodzic this time, as it was down the left-hand side of the box. This time it's down the right-hand side of the box, but Ahmed Hodzic has stayed down. I don't know whether the fall has caused him an injury to his shoulder maybe or something. He's very slow in getting up, but again, maybe Tash Dowie, that's another example of just slowing the game down. Absolutely. Killing a few seconds, right? I tell you what as well, Pizzette looks really angry still about that penalty decision. I saw as soon as obviously Sheffield United had scored, I saw him going to the linesman and having a real go at him, and he seems like he's really up for this game. He's pumped up. He just needs to be a bit careful though, because I can see him the way he's going, maybe getting booked here. Well, he's young, he's inexperienced. Norman Bissett, just 20 years of age, so he'll need to keep himself in check. Nearly 20 minutes gone on Talksport 2. Great game, great atmosphere as well here inside the Coventry Building Society Arena, and Sheffield United lead by a goal to 0, and they have a free kick that Cooper, their goalkeeper, has smacked downfield, bounces over the head of Latibogier, who's getting nudged by the goal scorer Campbell, so Coventry get themselves a free kick. They've won their last 2 against the Blades here, Coventry, back in March of 2022, when Callum O'Hare, now playing for the opposition, scored a brace in a 4-1 win, and 1-0 in the 22-23 season. That, of course, was the season where Sheffield United won promotion under Paul Heckingbottom, only to have a horrible time of it in the Prem. Redoni has the ball taken off his toe superbly by Sidi Peck, or Raksaki rather, at the perfect moment. But the clearance from Cooper is kept in play just inside the Sheffield United half by Van Ewijk, but he has to go back into his own half, for Sheffield United do press a little higher this time, and the ball is with Louis Binks. Drives the ball left-footed, and the ball just sits up in that stiffening breeze, and Jada Silva knocks it down for Josh Eccles. Tucks it infield to Sheaf, the captain. Sheaf by the centre circle for Coventry, spots Van Ewijk in a bit of space on the far right-hand side, brings the ball down under control, nicks it infield to Victor Torp, and he will give it back to Latibogier. Just over the halfway line here, Coventry City. Yeah, they've responded really well. Again, regaining a lot of possession. There's a lot of fluidity as well between the midfield, lots of rotations, which is making it quite hard for Sheffield United. Torp plays it through the legs of Burrows, right hand corner of the area. Van Ewijk puts the cross in. He was looking for Bissett, comes out to the edge of the area. Eccles urged to shoot, it's blocked by the giant Suter. Comes out to Sheaf, and Sheaf will give it back to Josh Eccles, inside left position, out to the left wing, and Jada Silva
feints to cross with his left and then checks in on his right, gives it back to Eccles and then further back to Binks. Left hand side for Coventry, now it's swinging left footed and it goes across and it's touched in by Norman Bissett for his first Coventry City goal to deservedly bring the Sky Blues level. Great ball from Eccles in between centre halves and goalkeeper, and Bissett got something on it to divert it past Cooper into the bottom corner, and we're all square in the Midlands. Coventry City 1, Sheffield United 1, a first Sky Blue goal for Norman Bissett.
I tell you what, fully deserved. Brilliant play. You know, going 1-0 down, but straight away they responded well. And Eccles cuts onto his right, and what a ball that is, by the way. Whipped in. Even if Bissett doesn't get a touch, that's going in. But that, as a number 9, is your dream cross. And credit to Bissett as well, he deserves that. He started this game really well. He's been running, he's been putting himself about. Well done, that'll do him a load of good. And game on now, what a start.
Halfway through the first half, and this place is electric with atmosphere. You've got to love the EFL. Just got to. It's amazing. Ball rolled back to City Peck at the edge of the area. Here comes Sheffield United again, trying to re-establish their lead. Shot blocked from Raksaki. Comes out to Burrows at the edge of the area. He tries a low drive and it's blocked by the legs of Josh Eccles. Van Eyck will retrieve the loose ball in the right back position for Coventry and tuck it back to Latibeaudiere. But Sheffield United have a high press on. They've got to get out, and Coventry do get the ball up to halfway. That was a shinned finish from Norman Bissett. He won't care.
Do not care.
No strikers do they, Tash Dowie?
No, I've claimed many a goals where it's scraped off a little fringe or piece of hair and you claim it.
Rain starts to fall again, swirling around inside the stadium with the blustery wind, courtesy of Storm Burt. 1-1 here. No goals elsewhere in the EFL as yet. This is where the action is. Leicester 0, Chelsea 1 over on Talksport right now. And O'Hare plays the ball out to the left-hand side and Burrows, but that ball down the left-hand side is intercepted by Latibeaudiere, nudged to the floor by Campbell. And Darren Bond gives the free kick, much to Campbell's displeasure. And Coventry have already taken the free kick. They've lost just 1 of their last 9 at home to Sheffield United, and scored at least 3 in 4 of those games. They like a few goals against Sheffield United down the years, it seems. Has no bearing on today, unless you're sort of a soothsayer disposition. Now a foul by Eccles on O'Hare. That's going to raise the hackles of the locals, and Sheffield United will have the free kick just over the halfway line. 24 minutes gone. 1-1 between Coventry City and Sheffield United. Loving this, Tash Dowie.
Oh, absolutely. And you talk about those kind of stats, but as players, you do remember those games, the teams that you score against the most, the teams that you have a good record against. So Coventry City will be fully aware of that, and that'll give them loads of confidence going into this game.
Don't forget, we've got Aston Villa against Crystal Palace live and exclusive for you here on Talksport 2 at 3 o'clock. Once we're done here in this part of the Midlands, we'll head at the M6 to join Adam Bridge and Perry Groves at Villa Park. De Souza for Sheffield United. Finds Callum O'Hare, right-hand side, tucks it back in field to De Souza. His attempted lofted ball down the right-hand side of the box doesn't find its intended target, but he's so strong, he wins the ball back, the Brazilian. And now it's across to Ahmed Hodzic, who drives forward from the back into the area. Great run, Ahmed Hodzic. Comes for O'Hare. Shot is blocked behind by Bobby Thomas for a Sheffield United corner. 1-1.
Big block by Bobby Thomas. You know, brilliant run there, and falls to the one person that this stadium doesn't want to be scoring today, which is O'Hare. And it's a snatch shot, and it's a big block.
Jaden Anthony's put Burnley 1-0 up at Bristol City. One of the other lunchtime kickoffs at Ashton Gate. Corner kick for Sheffield United, which Gus Harmer's going to take. He's getting a decent round of applause.
I was about to say, he's getting a big applause.
In it comes from Harmer into the near post. Keeper doesn't get it, but Van Eyck's there just to hook it clear from danger in case any Sheffield United player got onto the loose bits at the edge of the box. Stays 1-1, 26 play. Here is Gilchrist, the fullback for the visitors. Finds De Souza. Infield it goes to Peck, and across via Ahmed Hodzic to Burrows. Back infield it goes to Sidney Peck, this young academy graduate, joined from the Brighton and Hove Albion youth setup last December. This is his 6th league start. Just shows you how much he's valued by Chris Wilder, that at 20 years of age he's making that many starts so soon. There's a lot of competition in that Sheffield United midfield. Former Everton man Tom Davis is back fit and amongst the substitutes today, for example. But Peck has been preferred, and he passes out to the right hand side via Gilchrist to Raksaki. He emerged at Charlton Athletic, now on Crystal Palace's books. Peck again, centre of the Coventry half. No way through it seems, so he plays it back to Suter in the centre circle, and he rolls it left for Ahmed Hodzic. Back in field it goes to D'Souza. Coventry pushing out and forcing Sheffield United to go back to their goalkeeper, Michael Cooper, 1-1.
Yeah, that's good. I was going to say Coventry looked like they were in a deep block, similar to what Sheffield United just were, but credit to Bissett. As that number 9, you have to be the one that sets the trap, and you start the press off, and he's done brilliant with then kind of pushing Coventry up and regaining kind of that territory and looking to try and win the ball higher up the pitch for them. He's done that brilliant the first 27 minutes.
Well, the big way you hope is for Ahmed Hodzic on the turn, trying to clear downfield, but just shanking the ball straight out of play for a Coventry City throw.
But again, that's the pressure. Credit to Coventry. It's hard to kind of put this kind of pressure on, but they've done it really well for the majority of this game so far. Well,
I'm enjoying this game. I wonder if Frank Lampard is. I wonder if he's even here. We may well find out. It is 1-1 on Talksport 2, just shy of the half-hour mark. Coventry have it again. Milan van Ewijk down the right-hand side. He's got player on the overlap if he wants to use him. And that player is Torp. Knocks it back in field to Ben Sheaf. Now Van Ewijk again, level with the edge of the area. Rolls it back in field to Sheaf. Eccles just to his left. Sheaf just trying to tease it round the corner for the goal scorer Bissett. And he won't receive it as Burrows just toe-ins it away from the attentions of Rodoni. And then Eccles with a foul gives Sheffield United a cheap free kick inside their own half. It's 1-1.
Yeah, don't mind that though. I mean, you call that a tactical free kick, and again, it gets the crowd up for it. I love this. I mean, if I was a Coventry fan, you'd be really impressed with what they've done so far. They look so hungry for this game, and they've really kept Sheffield United quiet, except for that one attack, which obviously they scored from.
Well, Sheffield United were bottom of the Premier League last season, just 16 points. They conceded a staggering 104 goals, but only 8 conceded if you include the one that they've let in today, courtesy of Norman Bissett. And here he is again, Bissett, 25 yards out, steps in field, tries a left-footed shot, ambitious. It hit D'Souza and deflected out of play, away to our left for another Coventry City corner at 1 apiece.
Yeah, he's having fun. And talking about Sheffield United, I think that taste of the Premier League will make them hungry to get back up there again, I'm sure.
Well, that's the plan for Chris Wilder and co. This is an American takeover worth over £100 million still in the offing. Lots of confusion as to why it isn't happening just yet. Prince Abdullah supposedly ready to sell or not ready to sell, depending on the reports you read in the newspapers. Here's Coventry's corner at 1-1. Torp into the 6-yard line and headed over the top by Binks, who ran in and didn't have to jump, just connected with the header as he was running in at the near post, but guided it well over in the end. Goal kick, 1-1.
Got to score. And again, it's easy to say it's sitting up here, but it's a wicked ball, and like you said, he's almost put too much power on it. He almost just has to guide it back across the goal, and he'll see that as a real missed opportunity. Unmarked, 5-10 yards out, really should be 2-1.
But it's all square. Cooper passes the ball outside of his penalty area, and Coventry try and press. Rodoni can't get the ball off Vinny D'Souza, but it's won back by Torp down the right-hand side, cuts it into the area, couldn't find Bissett because back came Ahmed Hodzic to turn it behind, and Sheffield United almost architects of their own downfall there. Another corner for Cov, 1-1.
Yeah, it really is. Start of the game, all Coventry, Sheffield United score, then Coventry respond, get the goal, but now again it's all Coventry, but they're fully aware that Sheffield United within one blink, within 1 second can score a goal. But this is great pressure, good reaction by Coventry. Can they make it count now with this set piece?
Northeast corner, left-footed in swinger to come for Coventry again. So many, 20 players practically inside the 6-yard box for this in-swinging delivery. Torp makes a run outside. It's swung in left-footed by Binks, headed back to him by Latibeaudiere inadvertently. The second ball comes in, good delivery, but Cooper catches well at the edge of his 6-yard box, and the danger passes for Sheffield United, and Cooper tries to release Tyrese Campbell over halfway, but Van Eyck on the cover from right back across to the centre of the field, tidies up very well.
Yeah, good defending, really good. Saw the pressure, read the pressure, has that pace, that's why he's the one left back. And again, I think the weather has killed Campbell there, because it's a great throw, good spot, good run, but the water on the ground has just really allowed the ball to fizz away from him.
Shrewsbury 1, Birmingham 0, wouldn't you just know it. Gareth Ainsworth goes in at Shrewsbury, and they've taken the lead against second place Birmingham. That's in League 1. No goals between Bolton and Blackpool, Stevenage and Leyton Orient. Nor in League 2 between Grimsby, Colchester or Notts County and Newport. 1-1 here at the CBS Arena. 1-0 to Chelsea at Leicester, live on Talksport right now. Here come Coventry again with Victor Torp. Inside left channel, De Silva on the overlap, but he goes infield instead to Ben Sheaf. Just can't step away from the foot in from Vinny De Souza. But it breaks down this left-hand side for Louis Binks. He gives it back to Eccles, just over the halfway line. Sheaf tucks it across to Latibeaudiere, now runs forward from the centre circle, guides it out to the right-hand side, and Rodoni. He's got Van Eyck out there with him. Van Eyck will leave it for Rodoni, who comes in field slightly. Finds Sheaf, now Rodoni again, battling his way into the area. Bassett makes room, tries to put it across the face of goal, but it's a comfortable claim low down by Cooper inside his 6-yard box. 1-1.
Yeah, I think that's where Coventry have to be a bit more alert there. Bassett's made a great run, but he's a bit wide, but then you have to recognise if the number 9 has then gone out, you have to get bodies in the box, and there's no one in there for that little tap-in. But again, brilliant play there by Coventry. Torp's looked really lively, and so's Rodoni. I mean, Rodoni's had a great start to the season. I think there's a stat, 295 passes in the attacking third. That just shows how much creativity, and he'll be key today for Coventry.
Yeah, he's very much an attacking-minded player, Jack Rodoni. It was Aaron Pierre that got that headed goal for Shrewsbury against Birmingham, and Blackpool lead at Bolton in that Northwest derby at the Tough Sheet Stadium. I have to say that very carefully. So Blackpool lead, Steve Bruce with a number of injury problems for the Seasiders, but they have the lead against Bolton. And Cardiff lead at Sheffield Wednesday as well, with 11 minutes to half time here at the CBS Arena. Coventry City 1, Sheffield United 1. Sheffield United have it with Gus Harmer scheming his way up to the edge of the area, feeds it into the box for Raksaki! Brilliant goal from Jezran Raksaki on his left foot, the ball rolling across his body, left hand side of the box. He struck it low, hard and true into the bottom corner, past Brad Collins, and Sheffield United retake the lead with just over 10 minutes to the break. It's Coventry City 1, Sheffield United 2.
And again, it's a massive blow. You know, 2 attacks Sheffield United have had. They've scored 2 goals. And they've been ruthless today, but it's so disappointed from Coventry because they've switched off. You know, switched off in those moments, and you can see, again, why they've conceded so many goals this season. Harmer, again, heavily involved, picking up the ball in that pocket, facing forward, too much time on the edge of the box. It's a great run by Raksaki. He's almost had to come back and then dip in to stay onside, but it's too easy. He's unmarked. He's played it across the keeper with his left foot. It's a brilliant finish, but they should never be the scoreline. 2 attacks, 2 goals. The whole half has been Coventry, but they need to do better there defensively.
Brilliant stuff from Jezran Raksaki. His 3rd goal of the season. Got a couple against Luton earlier in the campaign. Made his England under-21 debut a week ago last Friday. And now he's given the Blades the lead back for a second time. 10 to half-time on Talksport 2. You're home with the EFL. Villa Palace to come at 3 o'clock with Adam Bridge and Perry Groves, your team at Villa Park this afternoon. And Coventry have got to do it all again and come from behind. Torp with a diagonal ball, picking out Jay De Silva down the left hand side of the box. Gilchrist trying to stick with him. De Silva holds on to the ball. Binks is an option to be rolled back to. Binks now has it, just jinks away from Raksaki, plays a 1-2 with De Silva, tries to pull it back, and Raksaki turns it behind for a corner kick. Good response from Coventry once again to going behind. Corner kick.
Yeah,
1-2.
You're spot on. It's a great response, and they'll know they'll have to score, you know, and they have goals in the team, so that's not a problem. It's what they're doing down the other end defensively that they need to tighten up. But with 5-10 minutes to go, if they can get an equaliser, just before half-time, I think that would put them in good stead second half.
Well, now I know why Coventry are top of the corner count in the Championship at 105 before today. I'll make that 111 now, to be taken this time by Torp. Whipped in deep to the far post. Up goes Latibergier, heads it down into the turf. Cooper can't get hold of it. No whistle. Play allowed to continue. Sheffield United get it half clear. Nodded down the left-hand side by De Silva. Torp, can he keep it in play? No, he didn't, according to Darren Cann, the assistant on this near side. Instead, it's a throw-in to Sheffield United, and once again they will take their time getting it clear to stop the impetus that Coventry City are trying to get going again. Sheffield Wednesday equalise against Cardiff City. It was Ollie Tanner who gave Cardiff the lead, but Sheffield Wednesday have just equalised at Hillsborough. That's 1-1. Shrewsbury now 2-0 up on Birmingham City. Oh boy. Good old League One. Gareth Ainsworth working the Oracle nice and early there. Peck for Sheffield United. Finds Harmer. Harmer, strong pass up to O'Hare, who's still getting the pantomime boos at the moment. He finds Raksaki, comes in field. Harmer making a strong run, but he runs into Bobby Thomas, who didn't let him go any further. One back by Eccles, and he's looking to release Jack Rodoni down the right-hand side. Great ball, floated from left to right from Eccles to pick out Rodoni. Now Van Awijk comes into the game down the right-hand side. Rodoni's stayed out there with him. Checks onto his left foot, rolls it back infield for Sheaf. Sheaf back to Jack Rodoni. Sheffield United holding them up. Now Bissett, who got Coventry level midway through this first half. We've got, 7 minutes of normal time to go in this first period on Talksport 2. First of two exclusive commentaries. Aston Villa against Crystal Palace from the Premier League is live and exclusive to national radio here with us at 3 p.m. Here's Rodoni. Now down the right-hand side, Rodoni can get the cross in. Looking for Torp! Great save by Cooper. Torp with a header from just in front of goal, 8 yards out. Cooper didn't know much about it, but got his body in the way and cleared it away, and Torp is down injured. 2-1 Sheffield United.
Yeah, I think they're claiming there for a penalty. They're thinking it's a high foot. I'm not too sure it was. I think it was just brave play there by Torp. Great save by the keeper. And I think it's just unfortunate. I don't think that was a penalty there. He might have got caught a little bit, but again, brilliant play by Coventry down that right-hand side. Rodoni, we spoke about him, influential in that. It's a great ball. It's a driven ball. And Torp's just wanted it more, and he's thrown himself at it. He's unlucky not to score there, but really ending this first half well, Coventry.
2-1 here to Sheffield United. 6 to half-time. It was the old stager John Marquis who got Shrewsbury's second against Birmingham City. Carl Joseph got Blackpool's goal that sees them lead at Bolton. Sheffield Wednesday's equaliser came from Dishon Bernard. 1-1 at Hillsborough. Burnley 1-0 up at Bristol City. And in League 2, still no goals in the games between Grimsby and Colchester and Notts County and Newport. And one of those advertising cloths behind the goal away at the North Stand is just blown onto the field because of the strength of this blustery wind around the stadium.
It's all going on here.
And it's Norman Bissett, full of energy, just wrestles it off the pitch all by himself and didn't need any help. The ball's back in the arms of Michael Cooper, the Sheffield United keeper, who can clear from hands downfield. In fact, he'll drop the ball at his feet. Bissett will go to close him down, and Cooper chips it up to the edge of the centre circle. Good foot in from Thomas to win it back, albeit temporarily, for Coventry. Ball's back with Cooper again, and he will pass to his immediate right for Harry Suter. He plays it up to Gilchrist. Gilchrist on halfway, feeds into the feet of Raksaki, but De Silva got his foot in front of the ball and got it clear. De Souza under pressure from Torp, but just turns away elegantly and plays the ball left for Ahmed Hodzic, and now out to Harmer on the left-hand side. He gives it to O'Hare, and the two former Coventry players kind of getting each other's way there for a moment. Harmer will take over and lay it back to De Souza. Peck turns, and he was caught on the turn, and that will be a free kick to Sheffield United. And I think, is it Ben Sheath that made the challenge? He seems to have come off worse than Peck from making that challenge. Free kick to Sheffield United with 4 minutes of normal time to go in this first half. Sheffield United lead 2-1. Tash Dowie.
Yeah, this game's had everything, hasn't it? You know, goals, big tackles. It feels like a derby game almost, some of the tackles that have been going in. You know, it really has been a real high quality game of football so far, 41 minutes in.
Free kick taken quickly by Vinny de Souza. Harmer clips it out to Burrows on the left-hand side, not quite at the midway point of the Coventry half. De Souza again keeps the ball away from Bissett, but it's won back by Sheaf into the centre circle. Rodoni can gallop over the halfway line, looking for options. He didn't feel like he had any in front of him, so he had to hold play up. Then he works it into the feet of Ben Sheaf. Now De Silva, right in front of our commentary position, has to go back to the halfway line in the end and tuck it back infield for Bobby Thomas. Latibeaudiere just to his right receives it now, shovels it out to Van Ewijk, who's got some space to run at Burrows down the Coventry right hand side. Van Ewijk into the area, little flick from Bissett, down goes Rodoni under a challenge from De Souza. No penalty, says the referee, but they still have it. Driven across the face of goal by Torp. He snatched at it, had more time than he realised, Victor Torp, just inside the area, and it ends up merely being a Sheffield United goal kick.
Yes.
Away to our left.
What a shame, absolutely, what a shame. You know, you look at the play there, it's 1-2 touch. It's patient play originally, you know, it wasn't anything constant, then they recycled. Then as soon as they got around the penalty area, it's 1-2 touch football. And actually Torp had more time than he thought. He could have taken the touch, and he snatched at it with his left foot, dragged it wide, and again an opportunity wasted for Coventry.
The boos you can hear are for Vinny de Souza, who's just decided to do up his shoelaces at the edge of his own penalty area and incurring the wrath of the Cov fans in the north stand just to our left. Now Bissett puts a strong challenge in on Ahmed Hodzic. It's only a throw into Sheffield United, but there's a push on Bissett. There's going to be trouble here for a Sheffield United player, because he was set upon by both Sidi Peck and Anel Ahmedhodzic, and now there's a 20-man brawl, all pushing and shoving around the edge of the Sheffield United box. Bissett has stayed down, and Darren Bond's got a big decision to make here, Tash Dowie.
Absolutely has, and I'm not surprised it's been Bissett that's in the mix. He has been lively, he's been up for it since that penalty call that he didn't get. He's scored, he's been bullying those two centre-halves. Wow.
Red card for Anel Ahmedhodzic.
Wow.
Who goes immediately to remonstrate with the referee, but he pushed over Norman Bissett. No doubt about that. Bissett went to ground, maybe theatrically, maybe not. But the fact is, you raise your hand to another opponent, you run the risk of a straight red card, and that's exactly what Anel Ahmedhodzic has got. And just shy of half-time, he has to take the early bath. It is still Sheffield United 2-1 up, but they're now a man down.
To be honest, it's stupid. It's unnecessary. They're winning the game, but Basic has got in his head, you know, and I've been in those positions where you want to mentally psych out your opponent, and it's just really stupid, and he could potentially let his team down here.
Well, Bissett has finally got to his feet, and Ahmedhodzic is trudging, and properly trudging, towards this near touchline to our right to head down the tunnel.
If you're the manager, you're fuming right now. You know, it really is poor play. It's unnecessary, like you said. They're leading the game. You've got 1 minute till half time. You just ignore it. You don't get involved in those kind of things. But as soon as he pushed him, like you said, you're asking for one thing, and that's a red card. And now,
well, I'm wondering what it was that actually made him push him. Whether it's, I mean, Bissett put his hand on his back when he was on the ground.
No, to honest,
his neck rather, when he was on the ground.
You've been there many a times. You can see Bissett, he's been niggling.
A bit of housery from Bissett.
Absolutely, but not enough to then get involved and to get yourself sent off. Again, it's silly, it's childish, it shows a real lack of experience there.
Well, eventually we'll get play back underway here. We are into added time. Bissett was booked for his part in that, and straight away a change has been made, and Jack Robinson's going to come on, I think, for Sheffield United. We've just moved into 5 minutes of minimum added time at the end of this first half. That's been shown by Ben Toner, the fourth official. Now he's about to hold up the substitutes board, and the player coming off for Sheffield United is Tyrese Campbell, the goal scorer. So Sheffield United bring on Jack Robinson, who will go in to centre-half, of course, to partner Harry Souttar. Defender for striker after the red card. Incidentally, Birmingham have got a goal back at Shrewsbury. Tomoki Iwata making it Shrewsbury 2, Birmingham 1 on half-time at the Greenhouse Meadow. Still 1-0 to Blackpool at Bolton. Shrewsbury, Leyton Orient 0-0. in the Championship. Burnley still 1-0 up at Bristol City. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Cardiff 1. In the Premier League live on Talksport, Chelsea still 1 up at Leicester. Still no goals in those 2 matches at Grimsby and Notts County in League 2. But here at Coventry City, myself, Ian Danter and Tash Dowie, we've been treated. We don't have a dog in the fight, but we're really enjoying this.
We are.
It is Coventry City 1, Sheffield United 2. Bassett now slides in to try and intercept Michael Cooper's clearance, and he wasn't far away as he slid in.
I tell you what though, Bassett needs to be careful, because if he gets that tackle wrong there and even catches the keeper in the slightest, he's already just been booked. He needs to calm down.
Now Van Ewijk in behind, right hand corner of the area, tries to hook it over his own head, looking for options around him, has to hold it up for a moment and rolls it back. Coventry now have a man advantage. In goes the cross from Eccles, awkward clearance from Suter. Bassett goes down under pressure from O'Hare, headed clear by Sheffield United. It's like it's the end of the 90th minute, let alone the end of the 45. Here's Vinny D'Souza, strong and powerful and elegant as he releases Burrows down the left-hand side for the 10 men of Sheffield United. Cross into the area, well claimed at his near post by Brad Collins. 2-1 Sheffield United.
Great hands by the keeper there. It's a wicked ball in by Burrows.
And now Van Ewijk strides forward, immediately tries to release Bassett further down the right-hand side, right-hand corner of the area. 3 up there with him in sky blue. Bassett holding it up, and he rolls it back instead to Van Ewijk. In it goes to the centre of the half, and the Coventry captain Sheaf. Now De Silva picks it up, left-hand corner of the area, infield to Binks. De Silva again, giving it back infield to Ben Sheaf. Centre of the half, options left and right, goes to his immediate right, and Josh Eccles shaped to shoot for a moment, plays it at right for Van Ewijk, cross along the deck, is cleared away by Robinson for a throw right by the corner flag, right hand side. 2-1 Sheffield United.
Yeah, I was going to see, obviously down to 10 players, sometimes it can actually be harder, but Coventry definitely haven't made it look any harder. They're still creating chances, they're still looking like they can maybe get a goal before this half ends.
Van Ewijk with the throw. Coventry 1, Sheffield United 2. We've played 3 minutes or so of the minimum stoppage time. At the end of this half, 5 were added on by referee Darren Bond. Throw in from Ewijk, Vines, Torp, and he knocks it back to Sheaf down the right hand side, midway point of the half. Early ball down the right hand side of the box, but offside against Bassett. Free kick to Sheffield United, and they lead 2-1.
Lots of positives though, going into half for both teams. I think Coventry will probably be the happy of the two with regards to the way they dominated the game, possession. They've really dictated the whole first half. They'll be disappointed to have conceded 2, but for Sheffield United, they know that they've got goals in them, and yes, they probably would have liked to have had more of the ball, but 2 opportunities, 2 goals, so they'll be okay with this situation right now.
That's the voice of Tash Dowie, former WSL title winner, let's not forget, in her Liverpool days, and England international, alongside me, Ian Danter, here at the Coventry Building Society Arena, where it is still Coventry 1, Sheffield United 2, deep in added time at the end of this first half. But Coventry will, as it stands, play the rest of this game with a man advantage. Arnel Ahmedhodzic, straight red card for a push on Norman Bassett just a few minutes ago. And the crowd's almost still settling down from that decision. Ball's back on halfway with Bobby Thomas. Plays it out left to Binks. He sold Binks a bit short with that pass, but he still somehow managed to keep the ball away from O'Hare, who was bearing down on him. Ball almost snaked its way through the centre for a run from Bassett, but it was intercepted by Robinson, who's got to the pace of the game very quickly at the back. Up it goes to halfway. Harmer loses out to Latibogier, and then he fouls Sheaf bang on halfway. Free kick to Coventry City at the end of the half. This game's had everything.
Yeah, it has. Well done to Latibogier there. Front-footed defending, looking to try and create another attack for Coventry. And they need to be patient with their play. They've got that extra player. Keep switching the play, keep moving the Sheffield United players, and then the spaces will open up, and that's when they have to attack with real pace and look to penetrate.
Running out of time though, Coventry, to try and make something count with this man advantage before the end of the half. It's with Josh Eccles just in front of the centre circle, and he rolls it out right to Milan Van Ewijk, up against Burrows, tries to go on the outside of Burrows. The cross comes in, it's good. De Silva at the far post, brilliant save from the header by Michael Cooper. headed it down into the turf to Silva, and Cooper flung himself to his left, and that's the last action of a quite brilliant first half of Championship football that sees Sheffield United go in 2-1 up at the break, but a man down. They were under the pump in the early stages, the side seeking to go top of the Championship as Coventry City look to impress an incoming new manager, whether that's Frank Lampard or not. But after 10 minutes of incessant Coventry pressure, Sheffield United promptly went up the other end and took the lead through Tyrese Campbell. There was an equaliser and a first goal for Coventry City from Norman Bissett midway through the half as he latched on to a swirling left-sided cross with the right foot from Josh Eccles. That was 1-1. But then Sheffield United retook the lead. Once again, Harmer, the schemer in midfield, finding Jezran Raksaki, left-hand side of the box, and a low, fizzing effort past Collins and into the bottom corner. Sheffield United retook the lead, but then, a minute from the end of the 45, Arnel Ahmedhodzic, a straight red card issued to the Sheffield United defender after a push on Norman Bissett. Don't go anywhere, because the second half is going to be absolute quality, with Coventry a man down, pushing to get themselves level. And I think there's a little bit of Baptist as well, Faye, going on down in the tunnel area down beneath us, just to add to what we've had in this first 45 minutes. More of the same, please. Half time, Coventry City 1, Sheffield United 2.
Absolutely loved that 45 minutes. That was incredible. There were a little bit of afters, and I have to say, the interim boss Rhys Carr is going to have to be really careful with Norman Bissett. He's only 20 years old, and he was very naughty in the first place on Arnel Ahmedhodzic, who should not have reacted like that. 100% he should have been sent off. I was pleased, though, that Bissett got the yellow card, because I thought the referee Darren Bond had missed what he'd done initially. He'd kind of like gone over the top of Ahmedhodzic and playfully, in inverted commas, grabbed the back of his neck and kind of tapped him on the back and walked over him, and it enraged the Sheffield United player, as you would expect, and he reacted as he should not have done. But Bissett there's a little bit of poo-housery been going on, I would suggest. He was winking at some of the Sheffield. I can't say on the radio.
S-housery, I know.
S-housery, poo-housery, whatever.
No, I'm sticking with poo-housery. Right.
He's got to be careful, though, is what I mean. And the interim boss Rhys Carr is going to have a chat with him. Otherwise, he's going to have to hook him. But, I can understand he's excited. He scored his first goal for the club. It was, shinned, as Tash said. I mean, he got the faintest of touches on it, but a touch is a touch. But what a thrilling game of football that was, and really excited for the second half. But Sheffield United have got an uphill battle now, Tash.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They really do. And how Coventry have come in to this first half losing the game, I will never know, but they should be full of confidence, because the amount of chances they've created, not just half chances, clear chances, even right at the end to Silva, that's a sitter. You've got to score that. But
great save, though.
Yeah, it was a great save. I'm always thinking of my striker's head, thinking I would have put that away. But no, credit to them. They've dominated the game. They will be really disappointed, because Sheffield United have literally had 2 attacks and scored 2 goals. That's not good enough. Coventry at home, they need to be tighter defensively. They need to make it more of a fortress, and then they know they've got goals in the team. But what a game this is. It really is. And to be honest, I see goals happening in the second half. I think obviously Sheffield United having one less player, I can see Coventry getting some more goals, but they need to be aware. They had a great comeback against Sunderland, so they'll know they've got it in them to get something out of this game, and I can see it happening. Yeah,
Tyrese Campbell's going to be a big miss, but that front three of Callum O'Hare, Gus Harmer and Raksaki, and actually Raksaki had a brilliant game, an assist, and then obviously his goal for the second as well. He's been on fire, and perhaps will start drifting into the number 9 role himself. It means they lose a little bit of that width, but Sheffield United have got it in them to go and keep the lead in this game. It's vital for them. They're looking to go top of the Championship, obviously, but Coventry, as you say, are going to get a huge amount of confidence from this. Right, back with you shortly. Get yourselves warm, hide away from that wind as well. This is what's been going on elsewhere across the country. country. In the Premier League, our live and exclusive commentary over on Talksport. Leicester are trailing Chelsea by a 1-0. Nicholas Jackson on the 15th minute. Enzo Fernandez sent him off, and Jackson had a second disallowed. One of the Chelsea players were offside in that one as well. Championship, Bristol City 0, Burnley 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Cardiff City 1. Both goals coming in 3 minutes after Deshaun Bernard equalised for Sheffield Wednesday. In League One, Bolton 0, Blackpool 1, Shrewsbury 2, Birmingham 1. Birmingham pulling one back there. Second, they've been looking to go top. And of course, Gareth Ainsworth, who came in as Shrewsbury manager just a week ago, spent such a long time as Wycombe boss, and Birmingham looking to go above Wycombe in the table, but not so at the moment. But Iwata has put Birmingham back ahead again. Stevenage 0, Leyton Orient 0, and both games are goalless in League Two as well. Grimsby 0, Colchester 0, Notts County 0, Newport 0 as it stands. Right, half-time at the CBS Arena, Coventry 1, 10-man Sheffield United 2. Second half coming next. Plus we'll look ahead to our exclusive 3 p.m. Premier League commentary here on Talksport 2 as Aston Villa host Crystal Palace.
Talksport 2, official broadcast partner of the EFL. Talksport 2 is your dynamic destination for all the latest sporting action, featuring live commentary of all the biggest events, including football, PGA golf, horse racing, Premiership rugby, cricket, boxing, and all the big-hitting drama of the NFL. Touchdown! Plus, Talksport 2's official betting partner, William Hill, is always on hand with the insight and in-depth analysis you need. Talksport 2 with official betting partner, William Hill. 18+, gambleaware.org.
This Black Friday, we've got incredible deals in the middle of Lidl. Like a Silent Night heated throw for just $24.99. An Oral-B electric toothbrush for $22.99. And a Daewoo 2.5 litre air fryer for only $17.99. Plus more in store this Sunday. Now that's big on quality and always Lidl on price. Subject to availability, selected stores, GB only.
Okay, Mum, Dad, you're in our room. We're in Jess's room. Jess, Daisy, Sophie and Layla, you're in Daisy's room.
Yes.
Nan, you're in the spare room.
Good.
Michael, Mickey, you've won the sofa.
Oh, cool.
Uncle John, you're in the living room floor. Auntie Trish and Uncle Colin, you're in the utility room. Pete, you're in the shed.
Oh.
Big festive get-together coming up? Better get a Travelodge. Find king-size comforts up and down the country at travelodge.co.uk.
Oh, the big names are here. Ooh, who is that?
I think she was in the movie about that really big shark.
No, not her. The florist.
She's automating invoices on the go so she can spend more time on that flower wall.
QuickBooks could save you up to 8 hours a week, so you could bring your vision to life. That's how you business differently. Intuit QuickBooks.
The Big Wicks event is now on. From tiles to flooring, doors, kitchens, bathrooms and more, we have everything you need to help you start your next home improvement project. Shop the Big Wicks event in-store and online now.
A comfortable future comes with an uncomfortable truth. You need to save and invest more now. So why not join the 1.9 million people who trust Hargreaves Lansdown with their savings and investments? Choose our Cash ISA, Stocks and Shares ISA, or both with UK tax-free returns. Open one today and help future-proof your finances with Hargreaves Lansdown. Go to hl.co.uk. Capital at risk. ISA rules can change and benefits depend on circumstances. Get financial advice if unsure.
Wrapping paper? Check. Tape? Check. The Big Tasty? Big check. After all that Christmas shopping, why not treat yourselves to the Big Tasty from McDonald's? With or without bacon? Go on. You deserve it. Available until the 5th of Jan. Served from 11am. Participating restaurants only. Subject to availability.
Fill up your bank account this November when we play 5 and Drive on Talksport with Arnold Clark. Listen to the Superstar Breakfast all next week from 6 when we've got a grant to give away every day. Simply answer 5 sports-related questions in 50 seconds to drive away with all the money. Enter now at talksport.com/competitions. 5 and Drive on Talksport with Arnold Clark. Part exchange your car and get an extra £500.
Feel the power and the glory.
Game day.
And he scored. It's a brilliant goal.
Fired up and raring to go.
EFL Game Day Live.
On Talksport 2.
Aston Villa are beaten in the Champions League for the first time this season.
Where have Aston Villa gone? That was nothing like the Aston Villa that's been so good last season and this season. Where have they gone?
Aston Villa on a losing streak, and that could prove very costly indeed. It's finished Liverpool 2, Aston Villa 0.
I wouldn't say it's a whole, but they want to get into top 4, so they have to really start pushing again.
To keep it this year is more difficult. We have to try to get better.
Forward to Mateta, Mateta clear! Mateta for Crystal Palace!
It's just not realistic that we win every single game.
I don't worry for Palace. I think there's 3 worse teams in the Premier League than Palace.
Palace are still a good side and will continue to improve this season, but the results have not been great.
There were many ups and downs, and then this is how you deal with it. Now is the next chance for us to get this win.
This is EFL Game Day Live. Faye Carruthers with you here on Talksport 2. Second half between Coventry and Sheffield United coming up with Ian Danter and Tash Dowie in what's been a cracking encounter at the CBS Arena. The Blades lead by 2-1, but are down to 10 men for that second half. Once that game is finished, we're going to bring you another exclusive, and we're going to stay in the Midlands as well, this time in the Premier League, as Aston Villa host Crystal Palace at the always resplendent Villa Park, which is where we find our commentary team of former Arsenal winger Perry Grooves and our commentator Adam Bridge, who are with me to look ahead to the game. How are you both?
Hello, Faye. Yeah, we're very good, actually. I think Sal's just preparing to put a bin bag over us at the minute because it is just starting to rain in on our faces here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wonder why you stayed in the warmth of the lovely studio today and didn't come and join us.
I know. Well, I was supposed to be there. I'm missing the jelly babies, I have to say, Perry, but last minute changes, I'm afraid, so I'm not there with you, helping keep you both warm and dry as it currently is. It sounds like Storm Bert has been wreaking havoc across the Midlands, which was another reason why I didn't come up, because I wasn't sure I'd quite get back or not.
Well, you've got Bert and Ernie as your commentary.
I know. Do you know you took that was Statler and Waldorf, but you took that right off my tongue. Listen, both of these teams were in pretty poor form before the international break. They're going to hope that they've had a little bit of a reset, aren't they? Villa have lost the last 4. That run needs to end for them. Unai Emery's going to want to see a good performance against a Palace side who've really struggled this season.
Yeah, and word is it from inside Villa, they've really gone into things in absolute detail over the last 10 days with the analysts and the coaches. Obviously certain players away on international duty, but you know Unai Emery is the kind of character who is going to go into detail because he's not used to losing this many games in a row. Last time it happened to Villa was back in the Steven Gerrard days in 2022, of course. So they've been looking at every little piece to find out what those fine margins are, because Perry and I were talking, against Liverpool they didn't play too badly, did they, Perry?
Yeah, they're very good, and we talk about the set piece coach that we've got outside. It's a Sam Ryder lookalike. But again, we talk about fine details, but even that, Villa have I don't know, 1 clean sheet in our 16 Premier League games, right? And against Liverpool they got caught twice on the break, twice from their own corners. And when you're on the pitch and the coaching staff on the touchline, you'd tell an under-10s team, by the way, can we keep one of our centre-halves or a defender back on the halfway line so that we don't get, sort of broken upon. So, fine details is great, but you've got to do the basics really, really well. And we was mentioned as well, hadn't we, about they miss Douglas Luiz in that centre midfield. I think he gives them just a little bit more control, and he sort of calms their possession down a little bit.
Yeah, they've got Ezri Konsa and Amadou Onana both out as well, along with Jacob Ramsey and Boubacar Kamara, and that is the problem for Crystal Palace. It feels as if Oliver Glasner is under quite a bit of pressure at the moment, but they've got no Eberechi Eze, no Adam Wharton, no Eddie Nketiah, which makes today look even more of an uphill task for them.
Without Eze, they've won 1 of their last 14 games in the Premier League, Faye, which I think tells the absolute story. It's interesting, I was talking to a Palace fan this morning, and he said to me he just wishes they'd had another season with Anderson and another season with Elise, just to see what Oliver Glasner could potentially have done based on the way they finished last season. But he's understanding as well that they're a club that needs to sell, then to reinvest, and so on and so forth. It's been a tough task. They weren't great at Wolves, again, a bit wasteful with their chances, and I think the numbers bear out that Dean Henderson's having a pretty good season in goal. But I mean, if you can't convert those opportunities, and Mateta's record at home is pretty good, away from home, I think it's about 4 in the last 37 in the Premier League, and that has been their big issue this season, is scoring goals. They haven't managed many at all. In fact, only 8 in the Premier League.
No, they haven't. They're conceding them as well. It's been a poor season for Palace, but we know that they can get themselves out of relegation trouble towards the end of the season. But will Oliver Glasner be in charge? Looking forward to speaking to you both very shortly after the second half at the CBS Arena. I mean, what a first half that we had there. Watched under the grateful eye. I mean, we love a lunchtime kickoff that's full of goals, which is exactly what we've had here on Talksport 2. And Ian Dance Dancer, I was about to call you. That doesn't make any sense. Oh my God, when have I ever called you that? I have absolutely no idea. Ian Dancer and Tash Dowie have been really treated to a spectacular first 45 minutes. But what is the second half going to bring? The players are back out. Sit back and enjoy second half commentary of Coventry against Sheffield United.
Thank you very much, Faye. Well, the first thing we bring you is a substitution. Femi Siriki is going to come on for Sheffield United at the start of this second half. They made that change just after the red card that was issued to Anel Ahmedhodzic to bring on Jack Robinson. But Siriki, who's back from a short loan at Rotherham United last season, he plays right back, right midfield. He's already made 8 substitute appearances for Sheffield United, and he's coming on for Jesrun Raksaki at the start of this second half. So he is going to play right side of midfield, maybe, but he's certainly on, Tash Dowie, to add a bit more, because he's quite a tall and broad-shouldered player, so he's a good physical player to have out there to help the 10 men try and see this game out if they can.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Raksaki's more of an attacking player. Obviously got his goal, had a good first half, but probably now it's more of a case of 45 minutes. They need to try and see this game out. They need to try and come away with whether the 3 points, whether they can try and get a draw now. They know it's going to be a big 45 minutes.
So we are back underway with Sheffield United in their red and white striped shirts, getting us back underway. Black shorts and black socks for the Blades. They're heading for the north stand in this second half. Coventry City in their sky blue shirts and socks and white shorts. They're heading for the south stand. That's where the travelling contingent of Sheffield United fans are. Also, the safe standing areas are in that south stand area of the pitch. As Tash Dowie takes a drink out of a cup of tea, gets stuck right on a microphone.
Cheers, everyone.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Half-time cuppa.
Got to have your cup, haven't you? Especially after that first half. Wow.
Well, we need to catch our breath. We did. Let me run you through the lineups as Bobby Thomas clears for Coventry City. Collins in goal for Coventry. Latibeaudiere, Thomas and Binks. Van Ewijk, Eccles, Torp, Sheaf, De Silva, Rudoni and Bassett. For Sheffield United, down to 10 men. Let's not forget Cooper in goal. Gilchrist, Suter, Robinson and Burrows. Then Sakiri, D'Souza, Peck, O'Hare and Harmer make up the rest of the 9 outfield players for the Blades. Here's Victor Torp guarding the ball into the centre circle for Jack Rudoni as Coventry get on the attack early in this second half. Played out to the left-hand side and Jay De Silva. Rudoni's gone again, gives it back to Jay De Silva. Now he tucks it infield to Louis Binks. Binks at the left-hand corner of the box, gives it back to Rudoni. Another short pass finds De Silva. Waiting for the cross to come in. Bassett's waiting for the ball to be played in, so too is Torp. He's now dropped outside the boxes. The ball swung in by Rudoni. Comes awkwardly off the attempted clearance of Alfie Gilchrist, but it's shanked off the outside of his boot, but was a comfortable catch right in front of goal for goalkeeper Michael Cooper, one of the goalkeepers in the Championship. The way he performed at Plymouth Argyle, one of the few players that actually cost Sheffield United a little bit of money to bring to Bramall Lane. Keep you updated with the goals elsewhere in the second half. Chelsea 1-0 up at Leicester. That's live on Talksport right now as part of Game Day exclusive. Burnley 1-up at Bristol City. Sheffield Wednesday and Cardiff are 1 apiece. Blackpool leading at Bolton. Shrewsbury beating Birmingham. Stevenage and Leyton Orient are goalless, and it's also goalless Grimsby, Colchester and Notts County, Newport. Any further goals I'll let you know here. First and fastest here on your home of the EFL. As forward comes Siriki for the first time since coming on as a substitute. Ball just taken off his toe in the nick of time by Ben Sheaf, and he had to make that challenge spot on, because otherwise Sariki could have gone down at the edge of the area, might even have just been inside the box.
Powerful play by Sariki, and that's what fresh legs does for you. As soon as he got the ball, one thing in his mind, can he cover some ground? And to be fair, it's good recovering defending there by the midfield player there for Coventry. But you can see the second half has started very similar to the way the first half ended. Straight away, Coventry in a lot of possession, which we're going to expect these kind of patterns now with them having an extra player. But it's whether or not that they can then find that kind of space and break down this resilient Sheffield United team, who have not conceded a lot of goals at all this season.
Lati Budgier finds Josh Eccles just over the halfway line. Passed infield for Sheaf, who's in a little bit of space. Fires it into the feet of Rudoni. Shovelled out to the left wing. And De Silva gets his head up, sees how many players are waiting for a cross, gives it instead to Rudoni at the left-hand corner of the area. Back for De Silva once again. 2 or 3 Coventry shirts waiting for a cross. De Silva feints on his left, crosses with the right, headed away at the near post by the former Coventry man Gus Harmer.
Yeah, I like De Silva. I think it's really important, especially now with them that extra player, that they use the full width. They get their kind of width, and that's poor play there. Under no pressure, Coventry have just kicked it out and allowed now. Sheffield United will definitely take up the time. But just going back to the way that Coventry need to play, they need to switch the play. They need to switch the play fast, and then make the use of these width and the overloads that they can create out wide. And then they know then they've got the likes of Bissett, who's a big, tall centre forward that loves those crosses into the box. But yeah, it's good play there by Coventry.
Coventry 1, Sheffield United 2. 4 minutes gone in the second half on Talksport 2. 28,067 the attendance that's just been read out here at the Coventry Building Society Arena. I wonder if one of those is a certain F. Lampard. We still haven't caught sight of him, if he is here.
He's in disguise if he is, isn't he?
He's got Perry Groves comedy nose and glasses from when Perry goes to games at Tottenham. Those have served him well for those walks down the Tottenham High Road, Perry. Here's Victor Torp for Coventry, trying to slide in Bissett down the right-hand side of the penalty area. De Souza gets it cleared. He was caught by Torp as he released the ball. Free kick to Sheffield United, and Vinny De Souza's rolling around in agony. I don't think he was caught that strongly by Victor Torp. A free kick appears to be all that it is. I think Darren Bond is just going over to say, I saw it, get up.
Yeah.
Free kick.
No, good refereeing, and actually it's a poor ball by Torp. It's a great run by Bissett. You can see he's playing in between the two centre halves, and he's ran in behind the centre half shoulder, and really Torp has to get more on that. Just find the space. You know that Bissett has that pace, but he's actually under-hit it, and then allowed, I think, his reaction then to try and win the ball back, a bit frustrated, and caught him a bit late. But it's good refereeing there.
5 minutes gone in the second half. Bolton have equalised against Blackpool in that North West derby. 1-1 in League One. 2-1 here to Sheffield United, although they are down to 10 men in case you're just tuning into Talksport 2 for the first time this afternoon. 2-1 up, and then Anel Ahmedhodzic sent off a straight red card. We didn't have the benefit of the monitors, but we watched downstairs in the press room at half-time exactly what it was that had angered Ahmedhodzic about the overly physical nature of Norman Bissett's challenges.
Yeah, a few little naughty elbows potentially left in. Yeah, you can understand why the centre-half has been frustrated, but he's bit on the bait, hasn't he? And it's silly now. He's in the changing room and Bissett's still on the pitch, making an impact.
And here's Rudoni trying to make a run into the box. Just couldn't collect the pass that was fed into him by Eccles. Just couldn't take it under his spell and try and sweep it home. It just bobbled through to Cooper. And Sheffield United will take their time. Bowled out over on by Cooper to Robinson, who came on as a substitute late in that first half once that red card was issued to Ahmedhodzic. Neat touch by O'Hare on halfway. Burrows thought that O'Hare had turned and made a run down the left channel, but he'd actually slipped, and so the ball went straight out of play. Shrewsbury 3, Birmingham 1. So Gareth Ainsworth getting off to the perfect start in his new role, it seems, as manager of lowly Shrewsbury. Still 0-0 Shrewsbury Leyton Orient. Still no goals in League 2 in those two matches. And still 1-0 Chelsea at Leicester, live on Talksport right now. 7 minutes gone, second half here on Talksport 2 at the CBS Arena. Coventry in possession with that man advantage, but a heavy touch from De Silva allows Peck to win it back for the Blades. Now Gilchrist looks to see the run of Sariki down the right-hand side. He's quick, but so too is Bobby Thomas, who very calmly guides it back to Brad Collins, who's kept his place in goal. Oliver Dovin, the number one goalkeeper, it seems, had a freak injury he picked up before the trip to Sunderland, so he didn't play despite 2 weeks of the international break. Rhys Carr has elected to stick with Brad Collins as his number one for this afternoon, and I don't suppose there's much you could have done about either Sheffield United goal, Tash Dowie.
No, absolutely not. There's nothing the keeper could have done, but as a team collectively they could have done a lot more. You know, split open way too easy, turnover possession too easy.
Here's Milan van Ewijk looking to release Bassett down the right-hand side of midfield, but Suter went out there with him, and good defending from Harry Suter made sure that Bassett didn't get a touch on the ball, and it just rolled through to Cooper. Sheffield United top of the Championship as things stand before Sunderland play this afternoon. There's a lot of EFL action that Adam and Perry will keep you updated with this afternoon here on Talksport 2 during the course of our commentary of Aston Villa against Crystal Palace. You've got leader Sunderland at home to Millwall in 8th, unbeaten in 7, Millwall. A lot of 1-0 wins for them lately. West Brom, who failed to score in their last 4 at home, are facing Norwich at the Hawthorns, and Norwich have got no win in 6. QPR at the bottom with no win in 12, are at home to an improving Stoke City. And Luton and Hull, 2 teams not playing the best football at the moment, both on poor runs. They meet at Kenilworth Road this afternoon. This is your home of the EFL Talksport 2. We'll have more EFL football for you tomorrow. Swansea against Leeds from 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon from the Swansea.com stadium. Ball's rolled back to Cooper, the Sheffield United keeper, and he fires the ball downfield, but there's no target man now that Tyrese Campbell's off the field. And the ball's rolled back to Collins, who under a bit of pressure from Harmer manages to stroke the ball out comfortably enough to Binks. And now Sheaf releases Jada Silva down the left-hand side. Fall waiting for a cross. In it comes, and it's headed out to the edge of the area by Robinson. De Silva's there on the scene again to pick it up. Lobs it up into the path of Josh Eccles, who tried to take a strike, but his former teammate Harmer just put him under pressure and made a nuisance of himself and helped to win the ball back for Sheffield United. And now they win a throw in their left-back position, to the delight of the travelling support. 10 gone in the second half. Coventry 1, Sheffield United 2.
Yeah, you can see Sheffield United almost, well, they definitely are in a back 5. Yeah, with that kind of support and then 2 holding midfield players and a 1-1. And O'Hare looks frustrated in that number 9 role, that low number 9. That's not necessarily where he'd want to be playing, but he's having to take one for the team, and that's what Sheffield United players are going to have to do. On the flip side, Coventry, they have to be more patient. You know, Sheffield United have that back 5. You're not going to get goals necessarily from just whipping balls into the box, where that's where their bodies are. They need to try and create things in and around the box, getting early shots off if they can.
Sheaf out to the right-hand side, and Van Ewijk. You're off to Villa Park in a second to bring you team news for Villa against Palace, our exclusive game at 3 o'clock. But meantime, here's Jack Rodoni, left-hand corner of the penalty area for Coventry, flicks it out to De Silva on the left wing. First time ball in field for Binks, gives it back to De Silva, and again there's plenty of players on both sides inside the box waiting for a cross. It's fizzed across along the deck by De Silva, half clear. Rodoni wins it back inside the box, desperately trying to pirouette and find a teammate, but instead O'Hare wins it back. Then down goes Harmer, free kick Sheffield United. So let's get up the M6 to Villa Park, give you the team news for Villa Palace with Adam Bridge.
After 4 straight defeats, there are 4 changes for Villa. Concert, Digne, Onana and Ramsey are out. Barkley, McGinn, Matson's in for a first Premier League start in Claret and Blue, and Bogard as well, who'll play at right back. As for Palace, 2 changes for them sees Guehi go back into the back 3 as Klein and Kamada, who's suspended, miss out. Hughes and Decore comes in for only a second start of the Premier League season.
Thank you, Adam. Perry Groves will be alongside Adam for that exclusive commentary straight after this game, so stay on this frequency and you'll get more live football on Talksport 2. Meantime, Coventry City are making a change, and the talented winger Tatsuhiro Sakamoto is going to come on. In fact, it's a double substitution, I think, for Coventry, because Brandon Thomas Asante is also coming on. The players coming off, Joel Latibaudiere and Norman Bassett, the goal scorer, is being replaced. So a change in system, I think, Tash Dowie, because you've got Sakamoto, a winger. In fact, Ephraim Mason-Clark has come on as well. It's a triple change for Coventry City. So Tatahiro Sakamoto, Brandon Thomas-Asante and Ephraim Mason-Clark. Torp has gone off as well. That's the third player that's been replaced for Coventry City. What do you make of that, Tash?
I think they want to get a result here today. They know the game is there to be won, especially having that extra player. So I think, I think fresh legs, attacking players, it's a positive move. I think, sometimes managers can wait, maybe leave it last 30 minutes or so, but he's thinking now it's nearly around the 60-minute mark. You don't want to leave it too late. So, I think it's a good move there.
So, Bissett, Torp and Latibeaudiere off. Mason Clark, Thomas Asante and Sakamoto on. And Coventry in possession, immediately trying to find Sakamoto. Brings the ball brilliantly under control. Right wing, he's got Van Ewijk on the overlap. Puts the ball into the box. Desperate header clear by Suter. De Silva tries to head it back into the box. It's volleyed clear only as far as Sakamoto, edge of the D. Can't make room for the shot. Brilliant defending by Vinny De Souza. But Coventry have it again. Sakamoto turns just outside the area. Little reverse ball trying to get Thomas Asante in. Goes down under pressure and he's been awarded, that Sheffield United rather been awarded a free kick. Thomas Asante, he just gets pushed to the ground needlessly by Harrison Burrows. Burrows thinks that Thomas Asante was trying too hard to win a penalty and dived, and he is going to get a yellow card for simulation within a minute and a half of coming on as a Coventry City substitute. Approaching the hour, and it's still all action here, Tash Dowie. Cov 1, Sheffield United 2.
I tell you what, I'm not sure about that. I know I'm always going to be a bit biased towards the strikers, but I'm thinking, why would he go down there? It looked as if he did get clipped, but straight away, that's what you want. You want the substitutions to be making an impact, and Sakamoto heavily involved straight away. Clever player, likes to come infield in those little pockets, and then with the likes of Thomas Asante, then he'll make those runs all day long off the shoulder there, and he looked like he had the better and he just got the ball and nicked it. So we say no VAR, but I'd love to see that back to see whether or not it's a penalty or not. But good reaction there by Coventry and a great start by the substitutes.
And an immediate reaction from the Sheffield United bench. Sam McCallum's going to be on for the Blades in a minute. Chris Wilder has called for his substitutions. We're told that there definitely was a clip on Thomas Asante.
And that's what I thought from here, looking at it. I don't know why it would have gone down otherwise.
Yeah, we don't have monitors here in our commentary position, but our producer Sam back at base suggested that there was contact between Burrows and Thomas Asante, but Thomas Asante was booked, and Sam McCallum will be on shortly for Sheffield United, trying to protect this 2-1 lead with a man down. Ball thumped downfield by Bobby Thomas, keeping the ball away from his former teammate Callum O'Hare, and Burrows is the player that's coming off for Sheffield United, so it's a like-for-like switch, although McCallum probably more defensive than offensive as a fullback, Tash Dowie.
Yeah, Burrows probably hasn't had the impact he would have liked today. When I looked at his stats before the game, 78% passing accuracy, I think he had won 72 duels, so he's someone that's really had a good start to the season for Sheffield United, but probably hasn't had that impact. So very much kind of a like-for-like change there, fresh legs. And again, just trying to see this game out and get the 3 points. And if they can come away today with the 3 points, it will be one hell of a battle, and probably a bit harsh on Coventry. They deserve to be in this game more than they are right now.
But as it stands, Sheffield United are going top of the Championship with this 2-1 scoreline that they have at the Coventry Building Society Arena. We played 61 minutes. Throw in for Sheffield United. Bounces around the edge of the Coventry box, volleyed away without too much ceremony by Bobby Thomas. Now Mason Clark just on, trying to make a nuisance of himself, but he's dispossessed by Sariki. Now De Souza releases Sariki down the right-hand side. Binks goes out with him to buy the corner flag in that north-east corner. Throw-in awarded to Sheffield United. So they're not giving up on attacking inside the Coventry City half of the field, Sheffield United. I'm sure that's where they'd like the ball to be most of the time.
Yeah, and I think right now you look at it, 30 minutes to go, they'll know for sure, I think, that they need another goal. So they'll be playing for a set piece just for one moment to try and give them that 2-goal cushion. I think to try and see out the game at 2-1 is going to be too risky. I see Coventry getting another goal.
Well, here's Mason Clark winning the ball back for Coventry and trying to feed Thomas Asante on halfway. He's kept the ball in play just on the far side and then nicked out a play by Peck for a throw to Coventry City. So elsewhere around the country, over on Talksport, it's still Leicester 0, Chelsea 1 in our exclusive from the Premier League. In the Championship, Bristol City 0, Burnley 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Cardiff 1. Sakamoto keeps the ball in play on this near side, despite the Sheffield United fans still all right thinking that ball went all over the touchline. Not so, says Darren Cann, the assistant on this near side. Ball goes into the centre circle for Louis Binks for Coventry. Just to his left is Eccles. Rolls it down the left-hand side. Mason Clark fending off Sariki. Rolls it back to Jay De Silva. De Silva, early ball into the left-hand side of the box for Sheaf. Back for De Silva. First time ball to the far post, looking for Sakamoto. Headed away by McCallum. Sakamoto will pick up the second ball. Wrestles for possession, right-hand corner of the box. Keeps the ball. Lays it off to Eccles. Eccles across to Binks, and now De Silva inside left channel, looking for Mason Clark down the left-hand side of the area. Bit of twinkle toes from Mason Clark, gets to the byline, pulls it back. Suter with a clearance, out for a throw far side to Coventry City. 2-1 Sheffield United.
Yeah, it's good play by Coventry, and again we talk about the switching of play, moving the Sheffield United players, tiring them out. I still think that they need to create something a bit more central and from outside of the box. You know, they're getting in good possessions out wide, but then they're putting crosses in, but then you've got 5 or 6 Sheffield United defenders there. It's going to be very hard to score from out wide.
Van Eyck out to the right wing. Sakamoto for Coventry. Thought about a cross, but lays it off instead to Rudoni. Now back out wide right to Milan Van Eyck. He just tucks it infield for Sheaf. Sakamoto turns it round the corner to Rugoni. Goes for the overlap. Sakamoto receives possession back. 64 minutes gone. Coventry 1, Sheffield United 2. The 10 men of Sheffield United holding out here, bidding to go top of the league. Van Eyck plays the ball infield to Bobby Thomas. Thomas out to Binks, and then further out to the left wing, and Efren Mason Clark gets to the byline. The cross is deflected into the path of Harmer. Oh, he didn't get the clearance on it. Drops for Van Eyck to the right hand side of the box, and Sheaf cross to the far post, chested behind by Sariki. Don't know whether he got a call from any of his teammates, but he elected to put it behind for a Coventry corner. 2-1 Sheffield United.
Yeah, Mason Clark's been a real handful. He's got on the ball low. He's always an option out on that left-hand side. Has put some half-decent balls in as well, but I would just love Coventry City to be a little bit more alive to those second balls in and around the box.
So it will be a corner kick, left-footed outswinger. I think it's Binks across there on that far side who's going to take it for the Sky Blues. Clutch of players around the penalty spot. In it comes from Binks, headed out by Suter, the tallest man in the penalty area. Gets it out as far as Milan Van Eyck. Goes for goal, and it deflects off a Sheffield United player, and behind for another corner kick. That was travelling from Milan Van Eyck. 2-1 Sheffield United.
That's exactly what they need to do though, Ian. You know, shots from distance, got a little nick, can get another corner, but that's where I think the goal's going to come from. Intricate play in and around the box, but more from a central area, maybe a shot from distance.
Another corner for Louis Binks to strike, this time be a left-footed in-swinger. 6-yard box crowded once again. As in it comes from Binks, deep to the far post, beyond everybody in the sky blue shirt. Will it go out of play for a goal kick or a throw-in on the far side? It's a throw-in on the far side to Sheffield United. And another Coventry City corner goes begging.
That's not a bad ball as well. It's a wicked left-footed ball. You know, players need to read the flight of the ball. They make their runs too early, and all of them committed too early. You know, someone needs to hold back and attack that far post area, and it's a brilliant ball in by Binks. But yeah, ball higher up the pitch now. Can they try and keep them in, trap them in? Big kind of 30 minutes, 25 minutes left in this game, but Coventry need to try and capitalise on this possession now if they want to go on then to win this game.
Just to recap, I gave you the Premier League and Championship latest. In League 1, Bolton 1, Blackpool 1, Shrewsbury 3, Birmingham 1 and Stevenage 0, Leyton Orient 0. Here's Sakamoto trying to get onto the ball right-hand side of the area, forces McCallum to turn it behind for yet another Coventry City corner, 2-1 down.
Yeah, it's on. You know, them balls out wide. Sheffield United are really getting stretched now, especially with the extra amount of Coventry have. They're using that width really well, and they're getting lots of joy in those wide areas now with Sakamoto and Clark.
Rodoni with this corner. Sakamoto's there for a short corner option right in front of the Sheffield United fans. Rodoni has it in that southwest corner. Raises his right arm. Hits it in left-footed into the near post, headed away by Suter. Again, comes out to Milan Van Eyck. He tries another drive, and it kisses the outside of the post on its way wide. Van Ewijk has scored dramatic goals at the Coventry Building Society Arena before now, and he wasn't far away from levelling it up for a second time this afternoon, off the outside of the post and out for a Sheffield United goal kick. 2-1 Blades.
Deserved more, deserved more. And we talk about it. He's getting loads of joy on the edge of the box there from the corners. Anything that's dropping down, he's picking it up, and it's beautiful play. It's on his left foot, and then he chops back, fakes onto his right foot, and he couldn't do any more there. He's hit it so cleanly, and that deserved to nestle in the bottom corner, but it didn't. Hit off the post and's gone wide. But this is great by Coventry.
Just over 20 minutes to go on your home of the EFL, Talksport 2. Coventry City 1, 10-man Sheffield United 2. Binks just thumps it forward, asking Thomas Asante to give chase. He should keep it in play before it gets to the dead ball line. He does, down the right-hand side. Suter's gone out with him to this near side, the Coventry right. Sakamoto gets his head up, puts the ball into the area right in front of the keeper, and he claims onto it. And it was Rodoni making the run across him. He was so close to getting a toe end on that and turning it in for 2-2.
Oh, I tell you what, I'm wanting to get my football boots on right now. That is a dream ball by Sakamoto. And he's been so good. And having that left foot and having a left footer on the right-hand side, the way he comes in, it opens up the whole pitch. And that ball, it's just asking for the number 9 to get a little toe on it. And it's so close. Credit to Sheffield United. I feel like I'm talking a lot about Coventry. They're doing well here. They're digging deep. They're throwing bodies on the line. They really are holding on, but I'm feeling a Coventry goal within these next 5-10 minutes. Surely the pressure that they're building.
And they have it again, Coventry. It's out with Ephraim Mason-Clark, right-hand side, up against Gilchrist. Tries to go on the outside of him. Cross low into the near post. Tucked in by Thomas Asante, but the flag has gone up against the substitute. It won't count. Lovely finish. Flicked at the near post, Zola style, past the keeper. But Darren Cann had already raised the flag, and Sheffield United hold on to their 2-1 lead.
Yeah, I thought I called it then. I thought it was the dream Commentary giving it a call, and then he goes and scores. But yeah, just offside. But we talk about impacts and how subs can change games. They have done that, these Commentary subs right now. But now they need to get that goal. But credit to Sakamoto, Asante Thomas as well up front. That's all you can do as a centre forward. Keep getting in the right places at the right time, and then your goal will come. And it's a brilliant finish. Just needs to hold his run a little bit there, but he'll get more opportunities.
20 minutes to go. Sheffield United 20 minutes away from sitting top of the tree before the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Leaders Sunderland at home to Millwall this afternoon. Adrian Durham will take you around the grounds in the Premier League and the EFL this afternoon over on Talksport at 3 o'clock. Here on Talksport 2 we've got exclusive commentary of Villa against Palace. Sakamoto, right wing for Coventry, level with the edge of the Sheffield United box, feints to cross with his left, checks back onto his right, support from Van Ewijk at the right hand corner of the area, drills it across to Louis Binks. He doesn't shoot, he was urged to do so, you can hear it from around us, goes out to the left hand side of the box, and De Silva knocks it back to Ben Sheaf. Sheaf, jinking his way down the left-hand side of the box, gives it to De Silva, clips a cross in, right under the crossbar. Great goalkeeping by Cooper. Got a right hand to it to turn it behind under pressure from Rudoni. It's another Coventry City corner at 2-1. Oh, no, it's been given us a yellow card. It's gone out of play, and Eccles has been booked for too much dissent.
A little bit of time wasting now as well that the fans aren't going to like.
Yeah, Cooper's gone down, the Sheffield United goalkeeper.
But I tell you what, if you are, and if he is here today, Frank Lampard, and you're watching this game, there's plenty to be positive about right now, with this Coventry performance. I've been really impressed with them. I haven't seen them play, to be honest, that much this season, but from what I've seen today, this is a team that really can be up there if they start putting in performances like this.
So Cooper is sat down, the Sheffield United goalkeeper. You and I have learnt a new word today, poohousery, courtesy of Fake Carruthers.
Not sure how much I'll be using that in my vocabulary.
Yeah, that may well be what Michael Cooper is exhibiting there. It's given players on both sides a chance to come and have a chat with coaching staff. Coventry players chatting with Reece Carr, and Alan Nill, Chris Wilder's trusty assistant, is having a word with a couple of Sheffield United players down beneath us. A reminder, Villa Palace next year at 3 o'clock, Swansea Leeds 3 o'clock Sunday, and then we've got pretty much 12 hours of NFL games from 5 o'clock in the afternoon to 5 a.m. Monday morning. Vikings Bears, 49ers Packers, and Eagles Rams through to the wee small hours of Monday morning. Then Monday night we've got a choice of commentaries for you from the Premier League and the EFL. Newcastle West Ham on Talksport, And the top two in League Two meet at Vale Park. Port Vale against Crewe. Oh, they don't like each other, but they will play each other at Vale Park Monday night. That's a great game. And then loads of action in midweek from the Champions League, the EFL, Europa League, Conference League, including the likes of Sporting against Arsenal, Liverpool against Real Madrid, and Villa against Juventus.
Oh, some big games.
And England's tour of New Zealand, exclusive to Talksport in the cricket, starts on Wednesday as well. Our team's already out there down under. I hope the weather's better in New Zealand than it is in the jungle for those doing the older Bush Tucker trials at the minute. 17 minutes to go. We're back underway after Cooper had his treatment. Jada Silva busy out to the left-hand side for Coventry City. Does he want to throw? He has. He hit it against Peck. And so Coventry's throw is midway point of the Sheffield United half. Shrewsbury 3, Birmingham 2. Jay Stansfield with a penalty. They're not done yet, Birmingham, he says, hopefully. Here's Milan Van Eyck. Finds Sakamoto, right-hand side. Gives it back. Does he to Van Eyck? No, he's got support from Eccles instead. Comes out off Vinny D'Souza for another Coventry throw, this time on the near side to us, the right. Van Eyck strokes the ball back to halfway, and Bobby Thomas. Just to his left is Binks. And Binks will look for Rodone, who's dropped deep for a minute, Jack Rodone. Binks again, just by the centre circle. Quick ball to his right, finds Bobby Thomas. Thomas, midway point of the half, slides it into the feet of Van Eyck. Further out to the right wing it goes, and Sakamoto up against McCallum. And Harmer goes back in field to Van Eyck. Plenty waiting for a cross in sky blue. Here now is Sheath out to De Silva, left-hand side of the area. Faced up by Sariki. And Sariki gets his foot in. De Silva still manages to get the second ball back, but then tried to flick it in field, and it was read by Sariki. Good strong header from Louis Binks. Too strong in actual fact, as he collided with Harmer. Won the header, but collided with the player. Free kick's been awarded to Sheffield United. We've got just over a quarter of an hour to go. I guarantee you a grandstand finish, no matter what happens in this game. It is still Coventry 1, Sheffield United 2. Tash Dowie.
There is nothing wrong with that header at all. Normally I'm all for the attacker's side, but it's just good, strong defending. The centre half Binks has come up, won the ball cleanly. So that's a poor decision there, because actually Coventry have really pushed in and around Sheffield United's penalty area. I think then the centre forward had the ball in a really good position for Coventry, so it's a poor call there, and you can understand why the fans are saying you're not fit to referee.
A couple of changes meantime for Sheffield United, and Callum O'Hare still hasn't scored for Sheffield United. Would love to have scored today, back on his old stomping ground, but it's not to be. He's being substituted, getting the round of boos. And Ryan One is coming on to replace him. He made his debut for Sheffield United at Bristol City, and I saw him score in that debut. And also, Jamie Shackleton, once of Leeds United, is being primed for an introduction here, and he's going to come on for Gus Harmer. So the two former Coventry players, and listen to the difference in the reception that the two ex-Cov players get. Harmer getting a standing ovation from the home support as he comes off to be replaced by Jamie Shackleton.
Yeah, that's the life of football, isn't it? It's a fickle world. 1 minute you love, 1 minute you're not. But yeah, both of them probably, more Harmer has had definitely more of an impact than O'Hare. Involved really in both of the goals that Sheffield United created, but a tough afternoon for both of them. You can see them both kind of limping off. They look like they've had a hard game at the office, but they won't care how they feel if they come away with 3 points against their old club.
14 minutes to go, and meantime another change for Coventry has been made. Ellis Sims is on for Josh Eccles, so another striker up there, Tash. So with Thomas Asante and Sims up there now for the Sky Blues, but they've given it away. Shackleton tries to feed it down the right-hand side. Poor touch. He was looking for Sariki, who'd made a run down the right-hand side, but it was overhit. Chelsea have got a second at Leicester, live on Talksport. Enzo Fernandez with a header to make it Leicester 0, Chelsea 2, live on Talksport. Still 1-0 Burnley at Bristol City. Still 1-1 at Hillsborough. Sheffield United Cardiff. Still 1-1 Bolton Blackpool. Shrewsbury 3-0 up against Birmingham. Stevenage Leyton Orient 0-0. Colchester have the lead at Grimsby. John Kimani Gordon with a goal for Colchester. That will delight Perry Groves, sitting in his commentary position at Villa Park, waiting to bring you Villa against Palace at 3 o'clock alongside Adam Bridge. Once we're done here at the Coventry Building Society Arena, where we've got just over 12 minutes to go. Coventry with a man advantage. Feed the ball out to the right wing, and Tatsuhiro Sakamoto on the overlap. Van Ewijk gets to the byline, pulls it back. Thomas Asante across the face of goal, and Sims couldn't get there on the second ball. It's gone out of play via a deflection for a Coventry corner again.
How Thomas Asante hasn't scored that. And that's where actually you've just got to head it back where it's come from, and he's gone to try and flick it and hasn't got enough on it.
Short corner, Tatsuhiro Sakamoto goes down under pressure from Peck, and it's been given us a free kick right on the edge of the box. It's not inside, he fell inside the box, Sakamoto, but the challenge from Sidney Peck was just outside the line, I think, and it will be a free kick to Coventry City. Not a penalty kick.
Yeah, well, Reece Carr, you can't say that he hasn't gone for it. He's made the positive substitutions. He's given them enough time to have the impact. Pretty much he's got all his attacking power now on the pitch. It's whether or not now they can really make the most of it. And they've had so many chances, wasted so many opportunities. They really should be winning this game today. But they're losing 2-1.
With 12 minutes to go. So Rodoni over the free kick down the right-hand side of the penalty area, about 6 yards from the dead ball line. Van Ewijk and De Silva and Schiefer all stood at the edge of the penalty area. If Rodoni wants to roll it back to them, but he might go for a ball at the far post. There's plenty inside the 6-yard box in both sky blue and red and white, but Darren Cairns just having a word with some of those inside the 6-yard box, saying, I've got my eye on you. And he may well be keeping a very close eye on the likes of D'Souza or One, two of the taller players in the box, and Suter, of course. Rodoni then with this free kick rolls it back to the edge of the area, driven goalwards and deflected wide. It was Sheaf who had the drive, and it went out of play for a corner, and there's claims for a penalty from Coventry players, but not given. It's a corner kick instead.
That's one worked at the training ground, and they worked it beautifully. The little over the dummy. It's a free shot by Sheaf, but credit to Sheffield United, threw bodies on the line there to stop that going in.
But it's another corner. I think it's 11 corners that Coventry have won this afternoon. In it comes from Rodoni, deep to the far post, headed in! It's 2-2! And it's Bobby Thomas who brings Coventry level. As we move into the last 10 minutes, finally a Coventry corner pays dividends, and from a standing start, Bobby Thomas nodded it home at the far post. Sheffield United couldn't keep Coventry out for the entirety of this second half, and we're back all square with a grandstand finish in prospect. Coventry 2, Sheffield United 2.
Yeah, look, as a neutral today watching this game, it's fully deserved. Coventry deserved to be in this game. Credit to Reece Carr as well with the changes that he's made. He's gone for it. But Bobby Thomas, big header, big moment. Now can they go on to win this game?
Free kick been awarded as Shackleton was brought down. So Bobby Thomas, his fourth goal for Coventry City, joined from Burnley at the start of last season. Only ever made one appearance in the end for the Clarets. So we've got 9 minutes to go, and it's anybody's game, Tash Dowie.
I don't want this game to end. I'm really enjoying myself. No, it is. The game, honestly, it's been a breath of fresh air to watch it. Both teams, wanting to go for the win. The red card hasn't made the game boring. If anything, it's made it more exciting.
Shackleton with a free kick for Sheffield United. Can they rally themselves and take the lead for a third time with a man light? Bolton have taken the lead against Blackpool. That's 2-1 in League One. Oh, it's been ruled out. Forgive me. I thought it had gone in, but it's been disallowed. Still 1-1 at the Tough Sheet. Meantime, down has gone Vinny D'Souza, claiming he's injured. And he's just taking his time getting to his feet. So waddles away. I think he realised that they weren't 2-1 up anymore, and that he's got to get to his feet and get on with it.
Yeah, I'm feeling his pain right now. He looks like he's suffering with cramps, so whether or not he's going to be able to last these next 10 minutes, I'm not too sure by the looks of it.
Yeah, he's holding his left shin, it seems, at the moment. As Coventry at 2-2 Work the ball out to the left-hand side, and Efren Mason-Clark attacking that south stand end to our right. Mason-Clark goes on the outside of his man. Cross deflected up in the air by the header. Sakamoto will retrieve it at the far post and guide it back to Van Eyck. Van Eyck in the centre of the Sheffield United half gives it back out to Sakamoto. Tight to this near touchline. Being watched by McCallum. Van Eyck goes on the overlap. That allows Sakamoto to drift in field and find Rudoni. Rudoni sends it across to Binks. Binks now out to the left-hand side to find Efren Mason-Clark again into the area, twisting and turning. De Silva in support, drives it into the near post and heads it up in the air. Sims can't get there. Desperate from Sheffield United to get it clear, and De Souza does get it clear, but Van Eyck keeps it in play.
This is going to feel like Sheffield United, the longest 10 minutes of their life right now. I've been in these situations where you just want the whistle to blow.
Thomas Asante gets onto the ball down the left-hand side of the box for Coventry. 7 to go. 2-2 on Talksport 2. Sheaf knocks it down for De Silva. Cross into the box looking for Rudoni. Headed away at the back by Peck. Binks nods it back into the area, but everyone was coming back from an offside position, so it just bounced through to Michael Cooper. So what of Sheffield United for these last few minutes? Do they go for it, or is it what we have we hold at 2-2?
I would say what we have we hold right now with the way that the game's going. I can't really see Sheffield United creating much. So for me, it'll be get the ball into the corners. Centre forwards, can you hold the play up? Go down, time waste. Basically, tactically do whatever you can to try and kill this momentum.
Throw in as Peck couldn't keep the ball in play on this near touchline whilst he was challenging Milan Van Eyck. 6 minutes of normal time to go on Talksport 2 in the EFL. Brilliant game. Loved bringing it to you. Here's Efren Mason-Clark out on the left-hand side, jinking infield to get away from Sariki. Rolls it infield to Rodoni, 30 yards out, chips it back into the box, and there's an offside flag that goes up against Efren Mason-Clark. Very quickly raised on this near side. And they've been caught out a few too many times by the offside flag, Tash Dowie.
Yeah, they have. And on the flip side, talking about that, I'm seeing the two big centre halves for Coventry telling the fullbacks to get high, to get forward. However, they have to be careful, because there could be one moment where Sheffield United can create something, and that would be heartbreaking if Coventry came away with nothing. So, yes, they want to go on and win this game, but also think, what ifs, rest defence, make sure that you are ready for that one opportunity that Sheffield United will create.
Cooper smacks the ball downfield for Sheffield United from that free kick. Last 5 minutes of normal time then at the Coventry Building Society Arena. 2-2 the score. Sheffield United have been down to 10 men since just before half-time. And they were 2-1 up at that stage and held out for such a long time. Now they're under pressure. Mason-Clark down the left-hand side. Brilliant challenge from Sariki, sliding in to put it out for a throw in that southeast corner.
Yeah, it's last-ditch tackles, it's blocks. For Coventry, these 10 minutes are going to go too quick. And I talked about it before, for Sheffield United, they'll just want the whistle to blow. But Coventry need to be patient. Believe in what they're doing. Trust the process of what they've been doing so well.
Driven into the box by Sheaf, chested down by Thomas Asante. Tried to chest it down to his own path, but Cooper was out very smartly from his goal line to smother it for Sheffield United. And he does a Pickford, as I think they call it, and it just dives on top of the ball.
There is nothing worse than when the keeper does that, especially as a centre forward. You just want to, don't know what you want to do, but not something nice anyway, put it that way.
Something like what Norman Bissett did for Ahmed Hodzic in the first half that led to the red card. 4 minutes to go, 2-2. Van Eyck gets in a bit of a tangle with McCallum. 6 of one and a half a dozen of the other, says the referee Darren Bond, and let's play continue with a throw-in for Coventry. 2-0 to Chelsea, still against Leicester live on Talksport right now. 2-2 here, 1-1 at Hillsborough. Burnley still 1-0 up at Bristol City, elsewhere in the Championship. And as things stand, Sheffield United will go top of the table, but only by a point from Sunderland ahead of their 3 o'clock kick-off this afternoon against Millwall.
Yeah, and I was actually going to say, if you had said to Chris Wilder to get a draw from today, I think actually he would have been disappointed before the game. But the way that the game has panned out, I think he'd be more than happy with a point away from home now.
Well, they have a free kick, Sheffield United, in the centre circle, just to calm things down a little bit and stop this relentless pressure from Coventry City. And they're going to take their time over getting it back underway as Harry Suter surveys the scene inside the centre circle. Options left and right. depending on where he wants to go. McCallum appears to be the obvious target. That's where Souta's looking, and he will drift it out to this left-hand side, looking for Sam McCallum, but Van Ewijk heads it out of play just down beneath us for a throw-in to the Blades. And another change coming up for Coventry. Yeah, I think Jake Bidwell is going to come back on for Coventry City. Over 550 club appearances for Jake Bidwell, and he's going to come on for Jay Da Silva, who has run himself into the ground this afternoon. So like for like, left-hand side, Bidwell for Da Silva as we move into the last couple of minutes of normal time here. 2-2 the score. Is there a winner for either side?
I tell you what, if there was, then this game would have had absolutely everything, and I wouldn't be surprised, I really wouldn't, the way the game's panned out, that someone gets a little last-minute winner.
That's Tash Dowie, former Liverpool and England striker. You can hear alongside me Ian Dante here at the Coventry Building Society Arena. Peck for Sheffield United, down the left-hand side, loses out. Ball's cleared upfield, but it towers over the head of Ellis Sims, brought down by Souter, flicks it forward for Sheffield United. Van Ewijk shanks the attempted clearance downfield, and then Sakamoto clips the ball almost accidentally into the centre circle, and Sims nods it into the path of Bidwell, his first involvement since coming on. Slides it out looking for Mason Clark, but that allowed Sariki to get in front of him and toe end it out for a throw into Coventry, taken quickly by Bidwell. Sheath, the captain, gives it back to the man who equalised with 10 minutes to go. Bobby Thomas slid forward to Jack Rodoni, getting up to the edge of the area. Sakamoto on the overlap, right-hand side, gets to the byline, tries to put the crossover, blocked well by Sam McCallum, but Sakamoto there again. Gets it back from Van Ewijk down the right-hand side. Now Van Ewijk again on the overlap, allows Sakamoto to send it infield instead to Rodoni. Sheath spots Van Ewijk in space on the right-hand side. Here comes the cross, deep to the far post, headed over the top. And it was Bobby Thomas there again up from the back for Coventry City, but this time the ball skimmed off the top of his head and out for a goal kick. And Vinny De Souza's down again. We're going to have a few minutes of added time for sure here with all the poo-housery, copyright Faker others, as Vinny De Souza goes down this time. 2-2.
Yeah, he does look like he's struggling quite a bit actually, De Souza. I don't think that's trying to waste time. It looks like he's hurt his groin there, but credit as well to the big centre half, Thomas. You know, you can see he's really wanting to go for that winner and get his brace, and he's picking the right times when to go and when not to go, you know, so they've been really patient with their build-up, getting it wide, and then he knows then he's able to kind of commit and go forward with the extra player, and he's a bit unlucky there with the header. But it's good defending there by Sheffield United as well, and God, this is going to be an exciting last couple of minutes.
So De Souza getting treatment down beneath us. Don't forget, we'll be off to Villa Park. We're moving into 7 minutes of added time before we will join Adam Bridge and Perry Groves at Villa Park for our exclusive 3 o'clock commentary. Aston Villa against Crystal Palace. But it'll be more than 97 minutes on the clock when the referee finally blows his whistle, because we've ticked round past 90 and Vinny De Souza is only just now being helped to his feet to the left-hand side of his own penalty area, and he's hobbling off to this near side.
Yeah, I'll be very surprised if he carries on playing.
Well, they've made all five subs.
Well, he's going to have to then.
He's got no choice unless they want to play with 9 men for the rest of this game. Leicester 0, Chelsea 2 into added time.
Tell you what though, that's not ideal though, you know, because if that is a groin injury, you know, if he does play on for these next 7 minutes and potentially does something worse, you know, you've got to look long term. But you know, 9 players, that's quite a big ask for 7 minutes.
Back underway as Cooper sends the kick downfield. Thomas heads it on. Sakamoto helps it into the Sheffield United half. A minute of 7 added on played. 2-2 on Talksport 2. Bristol City 0, Burnley 1, still playing at Ashton Gate. And still 1-1 Sheffield Wednesday and Cardiff at Hillsborough. Stevenage and Leyton Orient have drawn 0-0. That's full time at the Lamex in League One. And it's 1-1 full time at Hillsborough between Sheffield Wednesday and Cardiff. Here is Ellis Sims down the left-hand side of the area for Coventry. Gets to the byline, pulls it back, neat pullback. It just didn't fall for Ben Sheep. It was the wounded soldier out there, Vinny De Souza, that cleared it away. And a gentle shake of the head from Tash Dowie alongside me, watching De Souza clear that.
Yeah, the one person that you probably, for him, he didn't want it to fall to, but he's having to clear it with one groin.
Sakamoto Down the right-hand side for Coventry at 2-2. Swings a lovely left-footed ball in. Rodoni with a header straight at Cooper, who can fall on top of the ball and eat up a few more seconds. Great cross again from Tatsuhiro Sakamoto, but Rodoni's header straight at the Sheffield United keeper. 2-2.
Yeah, anywhere else, and that's a goal. Again, Sakamoto. I love that when he cuts in and he just whips it. It's those delicious balls that you just have to be in the right place at the right time. And if he could have just got a bit more on that either side of the goalie, that's a goal there.
Aaron Collins looks like he's won it for Bolton against Blackpool. 2-1 there. 2-2 here. Sakamoto again down the right-hand side of the box. What a challenge from Jack Robinson to slide it out of play for a throw. Quickly taken by Sakamoto for Van Eyck. Almost level with the Sheffield United penalty area. Nearly 3 minutes of the 7 added on have gone. 2-2 still. It's Ben Sheaf moving in field now for Coventry. Gives it to Mason Clark at the edge of the area. Right-footed shot comfortably blocked by Gilchrist. Comes out to Binks. Out to the left-hand side, and once again Mason Clark, ball into the box, and a poor header from Thomas Asante. Proper Toblerone header. That went out a good 10 yards wide of the goal for a goal kick to Sheffield United. 2-2.
Yeah, and they've got bodies in the box. You can't deny that. Probably the angle of the cross wasn't great. I think Asante Thomas was saying, be more patient, get it into a better position to then be able to whip the ball in. You can understand why they're kind of frustrated, maybe rushing things a little bit towards the end. They want so desperately to get that winner.
Burnley have beaten Bristol City by a goal to nil. Sorry, Tash. They're third in the table. Sheffield Wednesday and Cardiff have drawn one apiece. Still playing here then at the Coventry Building Society Arena on Talksport 2. Nearly 4 minutes of the minimum 7 have elapsed at the end of this game. 10-man Sheffield United going a point clear at the top as things stand. If they can hold on with 10 men against this onslaught from Coventry City. Mason Clark slides the ball in field to Louis Binks, centre of the half. Just to his right is his captain, Ben Sheaf. Rolls it out to the lively Sakamoto. Van Eyck on the overlap, gets to the byline, hits it against McCallum. Guess what? Coventry City corner. 2-2.
Yeah, Sakamoto, I'm actually a bit surprised with that decision. He's on the ball and actually plays a bit of a poor ball. Does well to get a corner, but he could have cut back in on his left again and got a bit more of a dangerous cross in. But corner to Coventry, let's see if they can get something on it.
They scored from the last one they got through Bobby Thomas. Rodoni again with the delivery from that southwest corner. It's deep to the far post. It's headed up and wide, and I think it was Binks that time. Oh no, it was Thomas, forgive me, at that far post, but the ball was sailing over his head and he just couldn't direct it back from whence it came. Goal kick to Sheffield United, and we tick round towards 95 minutes on Talksport 2, 2 apiece.
Yeah, there's still going to be one more opportunity, I'm telling you now. You can absolutely understand Sheffield United are doing everything they possibly can to kind of time waste. They'll get bodies over now, hit the corners. Can they try and get their big centre forward now, keeping the ball in the corner and time waste these last 2 minutes? But there will be one more attack for Coventry, and it's whether or not they can make something count from it.
Bolton have beaten Blackpool 2-1 in League One, and Notts County and Newport County have finished at 0-0 in their game in League Two. Peck for Sheffield United. We're going to get One in behind Van Eyck, but Van Eyck stuck out a right leg and diverted the ball back to his keeper Collins. First time clearance from Collins, headed back into the centre circle by Harry Suter. But Coventry have it. 90 seconds to go. Jake Bidwell slides it down the left-hand side, looking for Mason Clark, but Sariki gets there first, but he can't clear it. Goes straight out of play for a throw, taken quickly. Here's Ben Sheaf, left-hand side, deep cross into the box, and Rodoni almost got there, and it was almost a collision between Robinson and his keeper, but Cooper got there in the end and claimed it at the second attempt, and it stays 2-2.
Yeah, that's what you want from your goalkeeper in those moments, to be big, come out, safe hands. Well done, keeper there, but it's a disappointing cross by Sheaf. You can't, that's goalkeeper practice there. You've got to do better in those moments. That could be their last chance to get something.
Colchester have beaten Grimsby by a goal to nil. Still playing here. 6.5 minutes of added time gone. Thomas Asante. It's rolled back by D'Souza to his keeper, and Cooper will clear left-footed up to halfway. Drops over the head of Van Eyck. Might drop for Peck. One giving chase. Gamely down the left-hand side, but Thomas gets there first for Coventry City. How much time left once the 7 minutes are up? Ball downfield headed away for Sheffield United by Jack Robinson. Van Eyck lobs it over the head of Peck. Throw one by Rodoni on this near side, right in front of his interim manager, Reece Carr. Ellis Sims giving chase down the right-hand side, but he won't catch up with the throw, and it'll just drift over the dead ball line, and Sheffield United have a goal kick. And now we have passed 97 minutes, and it is all eyes on Darren Bond to see how much more he will add at 2-2.
Yeah, I've just seen Reece Carr there saying 1 more minute, putting his finger out, 1 more. There's going to be 1 more opportunity to create something. He believes that they've still got a chance to win this game.
Leicester have got a stoppage time goal back against Chelsea. It's Ayew's got it. Leicester 1, Chelsea 2, live on Talksport. Cooper with a right-footed clearance. We play on here in Coventry. The drift beyond Bobby Thomas. Binks will send it back to his keeper. Big, towering, booming clearance downfield, surely from Brad Collins. No, he's going to leave it instead for Sheaf, who's going to carry the ball up to the halfway line. Last chance for Coventry City against the 10 men of Sheffield United. Sheaf still going, slides it out to Sakamoto. Right-hand corner of the penalty area. In on his left, cross is deflected. Bounces at the edge of the box. One heads clear. Referee looks at his watch. Bidwell tucks it back to the keeper, and the referee blows the full-time whistle, and Sheffield United, for a couple of hours at least, have gone top of the championship. And what an effort they've had to put in the second half, down to 10 men since right on half-time when they led 2-1, and Anel Ahmedhodzic was given a straight red card for a push on Norman Bissett. They held out until 10 minutes from time.